Red solo talk, let's talk these ideas. Red solo talk, let's talk these ideas. Red solo talk.
Welcome to the Red Solo Talk podcast. The opinions shared here, purely those of hosts and guests, are intended for entertainment only and shouldn't be considered professional advice. The content is based on our hangouts and doesn't necessarily represent any other individuals' or organizations' views. By listening, you agree that the Red Solo Talk podcast and its affiliates bear no liability for any impact from your use or interpretation of the information presented. Listener discretion is advised.
Is it feel comfortable like that? If anything, you'll just turn it around.
It's fine, I guess.
It's cool?
Yeah, I think you have left on the... I think you have it reversed.
Backwards. Like this. We're supposed to hear that music?
Yeah.
Do you have a particular type of music that you like?
Oh, yeah, you want to hear
No, I'm
something?
fine with what you guys have.
Bachata?
Nah, it's okay.
You in touch with your Latin roots?
No, you don't listen to bachata? No Romeo?
I do. No, but that's not like...
That's not like...
It doesn't have to be bachata.
Oh, okay.
Now, she like hippity hop.
Yeah, I'm a hip-hop.
Okay. That's right. You guys met through the music industry.
Yeah. I forget exactly how. I think you were like pushing... You were doing something with Hoodie.
Yeah, King Hoodie.
Yeah, King Hoodie. Shout out that boy.
Yeah, I wrote an article about him on Crazy Hood, which is DJ EFN's website.
That's what it was.
Yeah, from Champ. So I was writing for them for a while. So, and I think through there, I managed to somehow get in contact with you through Instagram. And then here we are.
I was super like surprised, you know, when you reached out and then you were in the blog space or at least writing articles, and I was really interested by that because it was something I wanted to do. Like I was like, man, one day I'm gonna start a blog and I'm gonna start writing this shit. So ever since then, I was just like, okay, because most of the time, most of the people I meet, you know, it's the same story. It's nothing new. It's either they're artists or they're in the music industry in a capacity that wasn't necessarily media. So when I finally met somebody who was actually doing something in the media, I was just like, oh shit. So ever since then, I made like a mental note. And I was like, that's cool as shit.
Yeah, a podcast is something that I've always wanted to do. Like, when I started writing the articles, it wasn't something that I enjoyed because I'm not so much of a, like, let me write this. Like, I'm more of a, like, I like to speak it, be more fluent, and just, like, let it come out naturally or whatnot. But,
You think blogs, like, the actual traditional style blog where you got to, like, write an article and post. You think that's still effective? Do you think people still are reading blogs?
No.
No?
I don't think it's effective. Not anymore, no.
Okay.
So you've heard of Substack, right?
No, what is that?
Substack is like OnlyFans for writers. It's the best way. There might be a better analogy, but where you can it's like writers are going independent, and then their readers can just subscribe to them, and then their writings go up. I pay for. I don't pay for subscriptions, but right. I pay for 2 Substacks. So I just think that took over the whole blogging.
Okay, that's interesting. I just thought about it, you know, now with these new tools and everything that's available to us, like actually writing and speeding up the workflow. It would seem like something I'll probably look into. But I did have that question. I was like, are people still reading shit, or is it just all audio and video now?
It's that now we have vlogs, like video vlogs,
right?
And I feel like that catches people's attention,
right? Exactly, 100%.
Writing or having to read it, nobody's gonna read that.
And even those Substacks, they have podcast versions, and to be honest, I never read them. I wait for the podcast version to come out, and then I listen to it.
Makes sense.
See?
But I'm sure there's people that read it,
yeah.
But it's still an article first, you know. So it's just
now that makes.
But
sense.
yeah, I could see podcasts probably.
We too lazy, man.
Yeah,
we don't want to read nothing no more. Yeah. I still read Wikipedia.
I've been building my reading habit lately, and I like it.
Yeah, I know you've been. I keep telling myself I'm going to buy some more books, but I don't ever read them.
I just started.
It's hard.
The Hunter Gatherer's Guide to the 21st Century.
That's just about Native Americans. It's about Native Americans.
It's about It's about like human evolution and how we're made to adapt, but the change that's happening now in modern society is like it's too fast for us to keep up with. So it's about seeing how we evolved over the years and how we can best navigate based on the lessons learned through our evolution so far. I just started it, so you know.
It's a page turner.
Yeah, I like it. I mean, I like that type of shit.
Okay, yeah. I'm with that. And it's right on time too, because with all the I don't want to be another nigga talking about AI, but with that coming into the space and disrupting everything, like y'all know the writers are striking. Writers in Hollywood, you know, like they're not in TV, like they're all on strike now.
I did not know
like
that.
script writers or like
script writers. Yes, they want the industry has slowly been turning them into gig workers. So instead of having like a salary and a contract, and this touches on what we were talking about, like the people, you know, the necessity for writers. Well, basically they've been getting marginalized and they're not getting paid what they need to be paid. So they decided to strike, and it's gonna be interesting because, you know, if you watch like late night TV. You ain't gonna be watching reruns right now. Just like clockwork.
We do this live.
What's up, mommy? Okay, I'm coming. Right now, you gotta rock it that way.
I'm like, why are my eyes burning?
What's that? Oh, you ain't got your shades?
No, I'm like.
And this is a spontaneous episode. We're in we ain't even get to the intro yet.
We just started talking now.
But yeah, so we getting comfortable. Everybody's getting into place. I will preface this and say I might have to leave for like 5 minutes. I ordered pizza. It's Saturday, the day before Mother's Day. So if you don't hear from us, when's the next episode come up? I don't know. All right, yeah, that's a me question. That's a me question. So happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. If we don't get you.
I guess we'll do the intro now.
What's up, everybody? This is Audio Jones, and this is Red Solo Talk podcast. I'm here with the hostess that know the mostest,
Manny, El Fuerte,
and a very special guest. I'm trying to remember. I think this is the first time we got a girl on in the show.
Female energy.
Female energy.
Feminine energy.
Femininity. Is that the word?
Yes. Yes, happy to be here.
Hey, what's up? So, we don't have any topics. This show is going to be a little bit of a freestyle here. So, hopefully it makes it to the internet. Okay, you want to go? Let's go ahead. Let's go with a little brief introduction. Do you want to do the whole?
What do you go by? Yeah, what do you?
Yeah, you know, who are you? What are you? You know, your credentials. You know, the whole thing. You know, this is her first time. I reached out to her to sit down and have a podcast and have a discussion. I met you in the media space, and at the time I was like super hard body about like making beats and being a producer, and I was intrigued. It was one of the few people that reached out that wanted to find out what was going on with me. So ever since then, there was a connect and a future link up bound to happen. So this is the link up. We finally met.
First time meeting?
Yes.
Oh wow.
In person.
Yes, in person.
Okay.
I'm taller in person, right? Damn.
Did he height fish you? I don't know. That's the term.
I don't know. I never thought about his height
I never
before.
said about it. I never put my height out. I only do
Now
that
I'm
on
curious.
Yeah.
No, your social media. Can people tell your height?
If they look at me, probably, but I'm like 5'6".
Are you?
That's what my license says.
I think you were 5'5" in a previous episode.
Yeah, but my license say I'm 5'6", nigga. I'm 5'6".
Why is that something you think about when you come across a person? Like
No.
My
first
height?
time when you see someone on Instagram or like on
Like how tall are you?
media, and then like when you meet them in person, they're like a completely different.
Yeah, I've
No, just I hear that short kings try to hide their height.
Short kings. Bitch, do not put that label on me. Short king? Dog. Where you got that from? You just made that up?
No, I heard someone. I've heard it at work or
Bruh,
something.
I ain't never heard that shit in my life, dog. Nah, I'm not a short king. I'm average height in America.
I've heard younger people talk about it in front of me.
Short kings. You know, all the best performers, they sound like some shit. I know they definitely saying that on the internet.
Yeah, that sounds like something this new generation would say.
Exactly.
Short king.
So what do you go by? How shall
I'm
we?
Maddie.
Okay.
Hey, what's up, Maddie? We got Maddie in the building. Very excited. We wanted to switch it up a little bit, add a little sauce to the mix. You know, me and this guy's been doing it officially. I always ask you this, and I never. We don't have an anniversary because I would always forget it. We've been doing it for a while, and we decided that it was time to probably, you know, switch it up, mix it up, bring in some talent. Let's have some dialogue. You know, the show could stop being so misogynistic, possibly.
Hopefully.
When was it ever misogynistic?
It be you. Nah, is it misogyny? I don't even think it's misogyny. I think it's just like.
What, male preference?
Yeah, you know, it's like, you know, it's a but I don't think it's like, you're not misogynist. Like, you think women deserve rights and, you know, so forth.
I'm a feminist.
I've been hearing niggas say that shit a lot. Which one is it? Is it a TERF? Which one's the TERFs?
No, TERF is trans exclusionary radical feminist.
I'm not that.
That's like those TERFs are like the feminists that don't want men in like the women's bathrooms and shit.
Oh,
I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah.
TERF.
Yeah, they there's too many damn names and fucking acronyms. I can't keep up. But yeah, so all right, Maddie, you here? You've been here in Miami. Me and you've been going back and forth. So this will be real easy. You're back in Miami. You're originally from Miami, but you're back in Miami. Previously, you were where?
In Texas.
Okay, what part of Texas?
I was in South Texas.
South Texas. Okay.
Yes.
Culturally, going from Miami to Texas. Talk to us. I've never been to Texas. You been to Texas?
Nah, it's on the list though.
I don't know if I want to go. There's a lot of immigrants coming over now. Title 42. All right. That's a joke. Hey, no, it's true though. But my bad. So Miami and Texas.
Mm-hmm. Well, Texas is pretty cool. I love Texas. It has a very like homey feeling to the state, I guess, because we're so like city oriented, I guess, or maybe it's because we're like from Miami or whatnot here, but over there, like it's like you can raise a family in Texas. Wages are more reasonable.
So it was more small town feel versus city? Oh, okay. Pretty
much, especially the area that I was in. I was in South Texas, really close to the border, so that's like a very like slow paced, you know, everybody's raising families. nothing exciting happens over there.
Okay.
But Texas is pretty cool.
Sounds lovely.
Well, you know, all the guys, everybody in Hollywood was leaving. You know, Rogan went there. I think Ben Shapiro's in Nashville. But a lot of people were deciding to move to Texas.
Elon Musk went to Texas.
Exactly.
I was not too far from where he has SpaceX, which is in Brownsville, I think. Yeah.
I love
Punta Gorda, Texas, which is down there.
Oh shit. Okay. But you came back.
Yeah, I came back.
For good?
For now.
Oh.
Okay. Remember, I prefaced this. A couple minutes, you guys carry on. I'll be right back.
All right. So what brings you back to Miami?
Miami is where the magic happens, of course.
But was there like a particular reason or?
Well, in part to get integrated again in like the whole hip hop scene, probably start writing again, possibly making new content. It's something that I've always wanted to work on. And since I have people like Audio and other people that I work with, I just felt like it only made sense to come back to South Florida to just work on the things that I feel passionate about, I guess.
So you've interviewed Audio before? Never? We
just spoke in person.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I thought that's what he said was...
That was our intention. I think I probably did hit him up, and it was to probably interview him, but at the time I didn't have.
You realized he was boring? He's gonna watch this. Don't worry. I'm
It's all
just
good.
kidding.
Maybe. No, I'm kidding.
Okay. And you don't have a end date. You could be here.
Yeah, I'm staying here for now.
Oh, I'm like, what happened to the music? It's because he took the phone. So you don't, as far as creativity is just writing, you don't actually play instrument, make songs.
No, my
Sing.
creativity is intellectual.
Singing even?
No, not even.
Okay.
I wish.
I tried singing because audio wanted to show me all the latest technology with auto tune and all that. So I came here, tried to sing into the mic to see like what the technology could do. I was like, wow. I gained a new respect for these people because it's so hard.
It's no joke. Being an artist is no joke. Singing, creating, constantly having to push yourself to like make something out of nothing.
And then the repetitiveness of it.
Oh man.
I was sitting here just listen to the same beat
over and over, or write a song and just like listen to it over and over until you can bring yourself to like complete it or
exactly
finish a verse or whatnot or complete the lyrics. It's a lot of work. I can imagine it's very draining.
We need your phone got the music.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. You probably have to hit play again. Now, are we gonna pause to eat, or we're just?
You wanna eat now?
No, I'm just asking. I don't know because
When you let me know when you're the pause.
I was I don't yeah.
I can.
I didn't know if you guys were hungry before this.
No, I'm good. I just ordered.
Oh, okay, so let's keep going.
So I gotta fill me in.
I'm trying to plan your interview.
Right.
My
We
interview.
were talking about
Yeah,
how I think
she has an
when we
interview yet.
first spoke,
Okay.
but I think it was me inquiring with you about having to interview you because you were in the music scene at the moment.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what it was.
And I think at that time I was writing for the Crazy Hood page at the time, so I was looking for people to write on, to write about. Excuse me.
Don't you need press for a day party?
Well, yeah, absolutely. Are you still working in the space and media or
No, actually, I was telling Manny that's part of the reason why I came back to Miami from Texas is to like get reintegrated into the scene again and see where we can go from here, I guess.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I definitely it right now. I think there's massive opportunity because everybody's on the internet, so you can literally just pick a corner of the internet and start writing about it and start creating content. Like that's where I'm at in my point of my career right now. It's just like it's all about content to me. You know, it's bigger than just the making the beats and writing the songs. That's it's cool, but it's like boring to me now.
Yeah, that's totally understandable.
You know, it's like I used to introduce myself. I'd be like, yeah, I'm a producer. I don't even tell people that no more. Like I don't even say it.
We were also touching base on that as well, where we were like, we don't know how artists or people who do music, how can they do that for a living when it's so repetitive? Like it does take a lot of work. I think he was asking me what my talent is or whatnot.
It's a good question. It's like you trying to hire her for a job.
No, I just.
Where do you think you'd be most valuable in this company? This guy's so formal.
But no, I don't.
Okay. Yeah. So
And I think he said that he was trying to learn how to sing or whatnot.
he got a couple records.
And he said he couldn't do it.
He got
No, when you showed me the auto tune,
Oh yeah. Now you got a couple of joints. I forgot about those.
I sound a lot better in the shower.
Okay, so you guys both can sing?
Some better than others.
Yes.
No.
And now, if you could mic up my shower, we have Grammys.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna lie. The shower is where it's
Put a
at.
camera.
What was that?
Put a camera.
Yeah.
Hell no, I don't want to see that shit.
Audio only.
I was singing the
Audio only. Yeah, exactly.
I was singing the national anthem at work, and my coworker was looking at me like, "Oh, you really know the words." I said,
Yes.
what's funny is
Nigga.
every shower I start singing the national anthem.
Have you always been that patriotic, or you became patriotic? It's a good question.
That's a really good question. Okay, I would say I was always raised with an understanding that America was exceptional,
Yeah.
but I didn't internalize it because I had no knowledge to internalize it. But then the more I learn about our history and the more I learn about global politics and the more I learn about all that, I become more patriotic.
Agreed. I'm way more patient. I realized as I got older and I got started leaning into my philosophy, I realized that, wow, I'm actually more patriotic than I've ever been in my life. I mean, I also grew up with grandparents that were like in law enforcement. Yeah. So there was some culture there that, you know, and I travel like around the United States. I've been to like, you know, all the like basically southern states and shit like that. So you can't help but have a, you know, but minus the racist stuff. But you be here and you be like, yeah, you know, this place ain't that bad, you know. So yeah. How you feel? You really you like America?
I love America. This is my home.
Oh, I got
there you go. There go the show. It just started.
A lot of American flags in the Texas neighborhood where you were at?
Oh, man. Texans, they're a different breed when it comes to being patriotic.
Oh, no.
Yeah, everybody has an American flag, a Texan flag in front of their house. Everybody over there is like super like pro-America.
So I want to move there.
Texas is okay.
A2. And put back Title 42.
A2 or 2A?
Amendment number 2.
Yeah,
Second
2A.
Amendment. I mean, you know, you can remix it. You know what the fuck I'm talking about. This fucking guy. 2A. I've been saying this shit wrong for a long time. So you know, as y'all watch, y'all pretty much know where we stand. And since we're getting to know you, where do you stand? Unless you already asked this question politically, like where you are you politically activated? Do you don't care, or you kind of got a sense of like what your philosophy is? See, they ain't asking girls these questions. They asking them about like high value men and shit.
I want to say I used to be politically inclined, and I feel like I used to have a very strong political opinion. Mm-hmm. But as I have seen the whole political scene unfold the past couple of years, like,
you kind of got disconnected.
Yeah, pretty much. I don't know what's going on anymore. Like, I know I have my set of beliefs and
beliefs.
Yeah, and values, but I don't know what's going on right now. Like, why are people running? Like, who's running anymore?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, it's very
like, who can you trust? Can you believe them? Like,
it's an interesting time now. You know, I'm getting back activated. I think for the last like 3 years or so, I was disconnected. I ain't even watch news anymore with good old Sleepy.
But you're back in politics.
Oh, I'm in now, and I'm gonna support your move with your call. Yeah, my boy DeSantis. Very specifically because there's some recent moves he's done in Florida. That I really was like, oh, this nigga is not a rhino. He's the real deal. You know, like the banning Chinese citizens from buying land and shit. And I was like, okay, this is a guy that really means it. This is a guy that's like gonna put, you know, action behind, you know, his beliefs. And so I don't think we don't need to lose him just yet. So let Trump go and do 24. And then we'll get him we'll get DeSantis for 2 terms because he's young. He ain't even like these other niggas like 80. They
so
old
you
as
agree
hell.
with DeSantis and the changes in laws he's
I do. A lot, not all of them, you know, because I'm not privy to all of them. But what I'm privy to so far, everything was kind of like it's like sensible, you know. Like I don't have like a rational religion to just my party, but some of the stuff a lot of stuff he's doing, I agree with it. It makes sense.
No, I was just gonna say like it's very difficult that you'll ever agree 100% with anybody,
right? Yeah, it's gonna be something.
It's a matter of what you care about. Is weighing what you care about and how much. It's all variables of to what degree do you agree with this politician or not.
I usually didn't like DeSantis at first, like the first couple of years or whatnot. But recently, I'm okay with some of the laws he's been implementing and proposing, but I feel like he could be a little bit of an extremist at times.
Yeah, we almost got Gillum. You know who Andrew Gillum is? So Andrew Gillum almost beat DeSantis.
He was the opposing.
Like right before COVID, Andrew Gillum was the one who opposed DeSantis in the first election.
Yeah.
And DeSantis barely won. And then it turned out Gillum gets arrested.
Wow.
In a naked orgy with meth and shit.
With meth and other men.
But the moral of the story to me.
Florida.
Yeah, right, exactly.
But he was going to be our governor during COVID. That's where I'm grateful for DeSantis, was that he was our governor during COVID.
I think that's the takeaway from that particular situation was like, I think at that time was I conservative? I don't even think I was a conservative.
Nah,
I think I was.
You were sad that Gillum lost.
I remember, because at the time I was like tapping into just like, you know, my tribal instincts, which was like the black Democrat, you know, because I was black.
Yeah.
At the time, all Democrats. I was like, yo, that's my guy. And then it happens, and then I see the whole shit unfolds with the arrest, and you know, in the room with, was it a transgender in there?
No,
or something?
I think it was just men.
Just men. Okay.
I don't remember them.
They were naked and they were on meth.
Yeah.
And I said, oh shit. You know, like
I think it was a male prostitute or something.
Where, you know, I had to grow up at that point. It was like, you can't make decisions just because some people are the same color in the same party. Like, you got to do your research and you got to learn, you know, like,
make more of an informed decision.
Exactly.
That's a grown up thing.
That's why you seen what homeboy is trying to make Vivek, the Indian dude. He's trying to make the voting age, or he's campaigning on increasing the voting age to 25.
I like some of the stuff he says.
And if you want to get it before 25, you have to like pass a citizenship test, or serve in the military and like some others. And that
I don't agree with that.
Where is that? Where is this? That's here?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. This particular gentleman, I can't pronounce his name.
Vivek.
He's putting his hat in a race for 2024.
Yeah, he's one of the presidential candidates.
But I do like some of the stuff that he says, you know,
right.
You know, but not, you know, he just doesn't, he's not gonna be able to woo the people. It's like, what was the Chinese guy that was talking about universal income?
Oh,
I can't remember his name.
No, Pete Boot. No.
Hell no, man. I said the Chinese nigga.
Andrew Yang. Andrew Yang.
You're racist. Anybody?
I was gonna say Yang, and I was actually correct.
You were right. You know, you was right. It was Yang.
Do you remember when the plane crashed and they trolled the news, and they trolled the news, and they sent this news, the names of the crew that died on the plane. It was like, damn, We Too Low, Some Ting Wong, Bang Ting Ao, or something like that.
I ain't see that. Where that shit came out?
You know, so when the Malaysian airline
went
missing,
yeah.
I wish I could find it, but the pilot name, you know, the newscasters just took it as Chinese names, but when you read it, it was like holy shit, Some Ting Wong, We Too Low.
Oh, and they thought those were the names.
Yeah.
They're racist. They're racist.
And they broadcast it, and then they had to come back and apologize. I was like, well, that's what you get for being lazy.
That's wrong.
And not even doing your due diligence.
Because I ain't gonna lie, they probably would have got me too.
Yeah,
no, I feel like for big news corporations, they should
do vet
a lot better.
Yeah, you should vet it.
Oh.
You shouldn't just be lazy and just take something and just spit it out.
This is not a random person. You're supposed to be an educated journalist.
Yeah. That's it. Right. The integrity of being a journalist. Don't be fucking Don Lemon.
Yeah, once.
Oh God, that's a whole other.
One CNBC anchor, news anchor,
okay,
you know, independent journalist, is in a Zoom thing, and a billionaire Trump donor walks in that she's having an affair with. So a guy that she's interviewed, acting as a unbiased journalist for CNBC, and here she is having an affair with him, undisclosed to her bosses or anything. Just unethical journalism.
Have you guys noticed that in the whole journalism space and whatnot? Like, I don't know if you heard about this recently, where I think it's a Good Morning show or something like that, where the co-hosts were like caught like having an affair with each other. Yeah.
What network?
Man, I can't remember, but I know it's a morning. Probably.
I know CNN dude jerked it in a Zoom meeting, and like left the camera on.
Yeah, no. I remember that.
Toobin.
I remember that.
Yeah, Jeffrey Toobin.
That was lit. Yeah, because I be watching him and I be like, yo, I agree. Yo, he's good. And then he did that. He's like,
no,
yo,
but I want to interview him because like, what is going on in your personal life that you can't wait? Like you have to do it like right after the meeting is over.
That's
he's a really freaky nigga.
Hornball.
He's really freaky.
Damn, like right at like.
What was the other dude
No
that he did like this in the picture, and they got rid of his ass.
I think he was
in the Senate or House Representative.
Don Lemon got caught with the.
Don Lemon did a lot of things.
Yeah, he got he got out.
He was like grabbing.
And he messed up
Some text
the
messages.
countdown on New Year's.
Ouch.
So I don't blame them.
Well, never forget him for that shit. You got one
Not
fucking
New
job.
Year's.
One fucking job. They need to bring. That's why you let Anderson Cooper and the other nigga do it. His husband, I think it's his husband.
I think so.
Anderson Cooper came out apologizing for CNN hosting Trump in the town hall.
Oh man.
Why?
Because Trump bodied CNN.
He did. I went back and listened to it.
No, and they cut it short. So CNN's getting the best ratings they've gotten in forever. Mm-hmm. And they cut him short like 20 minutes because they realized like, damn, he's kicking,
Nah, I listened to some highlights and I ain't gonna say I said about that.
He pulled out the receipts.
That's literally when I was like, all right, we gotta get DeSantis in the next term. It was like, we gotta bring my dog back. He gotta start fucking shit up.
No, Trump is back. He don't play. He just finished having to pay $5 million for that Jean Carroll chick, and he starts talking shit about Jean Carroll.
He's savage.
He's like, well, he said it's not my type.
No, not that one. He was like, she named her cat or dog Vagina, and then he starts talking about. I was like, okay, so we went to this department store, this busy department store. People were coming and going, and within seconds of meeting each other. We were so attracted that we ended up in the dressing rooms and all the doors were locked. And then she found a door that wasn't. She said, "Oh, I found one, and we're right behind the cashier." Now, what kind of girl? And he I can't do it as good as him because he's a legit comedian. But his comedic timing and the way he says it is
he's good. That boy good. That boy he made politics and news like interesting because I ain't never watched it before that. And then I would see this nigga get on there and I'd be like, yo, this is insane. This is the president. This nigga is saying some wild shit. So I'm looking forward to 2024. Yeah, so
we had the world's respect though. At least we had that.
Yeah, because
they know the first president in our lifetime. No new wars.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. It's just a fact.
It's a fact.
And as soon as that boy got up out of there.
It all went downhill.
Ukraine and Russia. I say, God damn, they waiting for your ass to get up out of there. That's all right. So we looking forward to the next political race. What's going on with you? I know you were talking about reintegrating back into the space into the market of Miami. What's your plan? What's your step action, or do you have any? What's the play? What's the play?
As of right now, I'm like winging it now. Like
it's like going to Hollywood and New York and just going out there and be like, yo, I'm gonna just take meetings and shit.
Pretty much, which is why I'm here.
So you're gonna attempt to like apply to kind of get back into the blog writing space, or
maybe probably not writing, but I do want to probably do more content, more videos. And it's
YouTube,
so hard
like
to determine. Yeah, because the thing is that I always wanted to do interviews and whatnot and get more involved in the music industry, especially here in Miami. Not only the hip hop culture, but like the local hip hop culture is something that I always wanted to shed light on. But it's changed so much in the past couple of years. It's like you don't even know
what's going on.
Yeah, what's happening right now. Like, so, how is it supposed to be? Like, who knows anymore? I
can account it because, and it was around that same time. There was like the SoundCloud Florida era. Like, that's legendary. That's where we got so many talents. Like, that's where the XXX.
I was going to say him.
The Pumps, what's the Ski Mask.
Trick Daddy?
Puyas, Trick Daddy. Man, you disrespect.
Yeah, not Trick.
He just did, you know what?
Yeah.
Trick, we roll.
I stopped listening to music like 8 years ago.
Yeah, it's really different when I talk to people who are like not in the music industry and it's interesting because music doesn't matter as much. It's like it matters, but it doesn't matter as much.
It's like if you never drink Coca-Cola for like a whole year and then you take a sip again, the intensity of the flavor versus if you drink it every day, all day. So that's what I appreciate about audio, because since I don't listen to music on my own, anytime I come here and or when you send me new tracks, when I do listen to music, the intensity of it, the feeling of it is so much more intense than I can ever remember when I used to listen to music all the time.
That makes sense. I mean, now, like I think we mentioned before, people have such short attention spans that instead of trying to like create like a timeless hit, people are just trying to create the newest sound that everybody wants 100%. To just like listen to over 100%. And over. And like the artists nowadays, they all sound the same. Like even Drake, you know. Yeah. Not to like name drop him or anything, but like he was like the head of the music game for all of these years. He had like over a 10-year run.
You think he's on the descent?
Yeah, definitely.
So who's?
That's the problem. Who's next? Who knows?
Who's popping right now? Who's getting all the features right now?
You know how this is Kid Cudi new album too, by the way. Great album. You know, like when we think about the concepts of like a Michael Jackson, a Madonna, I'm old, guys. So I come from I remember like superstars.
Yes.
You know, like I think the last superstar, you know, and I want to be careful because maybe I'm just disconnected. So I can't,
Lil Wayne was one, Drake was one, Justin Bieber.
So technology, when it all comes down to it, it was technology. Technology, as much as we needed, and it was great for the being able to be a useful tool and provide new opportunities, find new ways to monetize. It was all great, but when we started to gain too much access, I think the superstar died. You know, like the amount of and this is psychological, whereas like delayed gratification applies, where like. I'm old, where you had to sit in front of your radio with a blank cassette and press record and play to get your songs, So when you have to put that energy or that effort, you appreciate it more. Like I could throw on some Boys to Men today and it's on, but I can't remember the last 2-3 albums or last 2-3 years of music. I don't remember. That's just a fucking blur.
Thing, it's so unmemorable. Like it's become so like basic. It's even to the point where now, like I know we don't want to talk about it, but AI. I don't know if you guys been noticing that all the artists now, like they have no autonomy in the music industry anymore. And with the AI intelligence that we have now, we have people making songs with their voices.
Yeah.
So we have people making money off of these artists' name, and there's nothing right now to like.
100%.
No, imagine when the recording studio just sits there and says, "Okay, we don't need you. Go get drunk in the Ibiza. Go get drunk in the Ibiza. We're gonna make 3 albums."
Frank, it just recently happened with Frank Ocean, where the guy was putting out these quote unquote unreleased Frank Ocean songs. Well, I haven't really deep dived, but I was made privy, and he actually made money because he released them. And I mean, you can't do that. Well, I'm assuming that you can't do that. I don't know, because the law is interesting to me, because sometimes the contracts say things like likeness, so I'm like, technically likeness. It sounds like him, so it's an interesting time. It's going to disrupt. It's going to fuck up a lot of shit. I don't, and that book you mentioned it hits on specifically to this time where there's all this disruption, there's all this new technology, and how do you navigate it and still be optimal operating individual in this new space, or just die.
Yeah, I think we're just gonna enter a whole new era of like maybe entertainment, music, everything in general, really. Because even if you really think about it, even award shows don't even hold weight anymore. Absolutely. Like nobody's ever satisfied with the winners. Like it's all like an inside thing.
It's definitely lost its punch. But I'm try not to use my own bias because I'm like older now and I'm in a different space. So I wonder if it's still exciting to
Yeah,
kids.
because I think about that too because I grew up watching the VMA awards, the MTV awards, the Grammys, the Oscars, and I don't watch them at all anymore. I don't care at all about them. Same. They became too politicized or whatever. But I sometimes wonder what you were saying. With your bias, like. Are there huge swaths of people that still do watch it? I'm just not in that group, so I'm from the outside looking in. And because I'm from the outside now, I think everyone's on the outside now. But it could just be this revolving door where like I was in that world, now I'm out. But as I exited, other people entered.
Well, with social media now, like if you like, for example, me, I don't watch any of these award shows, but like there's a million clips of who won for each category. I don't have to watch it. Yeah, I get straight to the point on social media.
And that's technology.
And that's really what everybody shares and reposts is these clips. It's not the whole thing.
That's true because, there was a time where if you didn't watch it when it aired,
you missed it.
Like, there's no way to watch it back.
You just had to hear about it tomorrow in school. He's like, you saw that shit? He's like, nah, nigga, I ain't see it.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Fucked up.
Did it have cable then?
Yeah, right. My cable was out. God,
it's totally true. If there's something happening tonight, I don't care because I know I could watch it tomorrow.
Exactly.
So, like, I don't understand why people still go to the movies.
Oh,
well,
man.
that's different. Because unless you're a multi-millionaire and you have a legit, 30, 40 foot screen, Dolby Atmos, surround sound.
I got a 32 with a sound bar.
Yeah, it's not the same. Because even I'm
You went in.
I'm an audio-visual guy. I can tell you everything about TV and audio-visual, and my man cave is legit. I invested some heavy coin in the closest you're going to get to movie theater quality for a poor man. And I still go to the theater sometimes, just depending on the type of movie.
We would probably be shooting the podcast in that motherfucker there, but yeah.
The movies, I feel like it's not a thing anymore. I'm just happy that we still have the option to go to the movies. It could easily just become non-existent any day now.
San Andreas with The Rock, San Andreas with the earthquake.
I know what you're talking about.
Yo, I watched that shit IMAX, the real IMAX here in Auto Nation, Fort Lauderdale by the museum. The real IMAX, and that movie watching experience was phenomenal. I could not repeat that here.
The last movie I watched was it was in 3D. I took my kids. I don't even fucking remember.
Avatar: Way of the Water, IMAX 3D.
I want to say that's what I ain't watched that one. I still ain't watched that
Super
one.
Mario Brothers?
I don't know what the fuck I watched. That's fucked up.
I don't remember what I watched.
The last time we went to the movie theaters? No.
You don't remember the last time you went into a movie theater?
No, the last time.
Before
I'm pretty
COVID?
sure it was to take my son to go watch something.
Yeah.
But that was so many. Yeah, definitely before COVID.
Oh, wow.
Oh shit, yeah. I've been there since the pandemic, and it was like the last movie I know that I could vividly remember was watching Nope. No, we watched Elvis. Elvis was lit.
Yeah.
Elvis was lit.
But Nope was after Elvis.
Was it?
But we watched it separately. Like, we didn't watch it together.
Why'd that happen?
I don't remember.
No, I'm fucking around. But I think I'm done.
By the way, we have a new thing coming out, Lost Tapes.
Because,
for example, the Elvis episode has never been uploaded.
Is there? I saw all of them.
So check out. We're gonna start releasing all the bullshit episodes that
they don't call it bullshit. Well, that wasn't bullshit because either I lost. So all right, in this journey, I learned a lot of things about file management. I was like, oh shit, where's the fucking footage from this episode? So I developed the system, but because we didn't want to like just squander it and throw it away, I mean, the conversations are there. I think we put I want to say Lost Tapes, our very first I think that was our first podcast.
Yeah.
And it's up, and it was interesting because it was just like, what the fuck are we doing?
Well, there are some stuff that needs to be deleted. the like very first stuff that's not going to be part of Lost Tapes. You
gotta leave those around for the future documentary.
That one needs to be deleted.
It just need to get off this earth.
That one, no.
Archived. Oh yeah.
No. That's
because now I got some shit.
I can help you organize them.
Yeah. That's the shit that you're gonna blackmail me with.
I know. I was just saying.
That's career ending shit.
Yeah, it was some wild shit back in the day. We didn't give a fuck.
Because that was the stuff we recorded with the intent to never publish. It was literally just to test equipment and test set up.
Yeah, there was a lot of
So
shit
that you're not gonna see.
Also, you didn't approve. Would you approve of the very first episode?
No. The very first thing we recorded, that one is
Okay.
that one's going through the shredder.
Fair.
That one's getting encrypted.
But that's not fair because I put up the episode in the can.
No, but we agreed to it, and that was an episode that we recorded to publish.
Yeah.
The point is, the one I'm talking about, it was explicitly not going to be published. That was a little that. You see, we talk about YouTube safe and paywall safe. That one is.
We were discussing it because Maddie brought it up, and she was like, coming up with a system or some code words or something. Like I fucked up the other day or a couple of episodes back when I was talking about my brother.
Yeah.
And then we like kind of came to like a understanding like, man, maybe we shouldn't talk about. I mean, we could be real,
yeah,
but probably not give up.
I don't know. I have zero boundaries, zero restrictions.
Oh, man, fuck it then. Let's go with this.
So I'll respect others, but as far as I go, you could ask me whatever. You could tell me whatever.
Okay. So
I'm an open book.
So we don't need a safe word.
I'm an open library.
What's the safe word? Like pineapple?
Purple.
I like that better than pineapple. Agreed?
Agreed.
Yeah, all right, say no more. All right,
do you have
what?
Family is one that's like off limits. You don't talk about family.
Oh, do I have shit like I won't talk about?
Yeah.
No, not really.
Okay.
I mean, it's not that I won't talk about it. It's when I add the element of like an opinion.
Yeah. No, my biggest fear is like we have a guest here and I make some joke that to me is not, and all of a sudden they're like, and they just break down crying and like storm out and shit because I just reminded them about, something their uncle did or something, like that's my biggest,
right. Sensitive, flaky, yeah. I mean, at this point, I don't really care. I don't really, it's,
I mean, I don't care if I didn't mean to, but if I can avoid it, I would love to like
I want to shield myself professionally because, but I think that if I root myself in just being true to what I am, what I stand for, like my goal is to be uncancelable. If that's a word. That's a word.
Yeah.
It can be. It is now.
You got the job. There it goes. It's to be me so much that it becomes that is my brand. Because that's what I feel like Trump did. It was just him.
I think I have that too, where I'm pretty.
You
much.
do that. You like it's just so much easier not to fake it.
Yeah.
And trying to navigate and be like, anytime I try to be PC, I end up start saying dumb shit or it's just.
I have so much confidence that I know I'm saying what I truly believe. That I have that confidence because I know I can back it up. Even if you misunderstand, I know that I know that once you fully understand me, the chances of you still being upset with me are slim to none. You might be upset in the beginning because, you don't fully understand what I'm thinking, but everyone always comes around.
That's right. When we first got down, I was you called me a racist with PTSD.
Yeah. And look who's still sitting here.
What the fuck that mean?
I won you over.
I wouldn't like describe it like that. I think it was more like a meeting of the minds. You know what I'm saying? Like in the middle. Nah,
I'll say 70-30.
Nah, you know what? That's really what made me fuck with him. Because I didn't realize I was in the echo chamber.
Yeah.
I was only hearing the one side of things, and then I started getting into I'll never forget that dude. This is in the early episodes. It was the situation with the police.
Oh, that was a good one.
That's when because you called it out, and I'm sitting there and I'm like, what the fuck did I just do? I was, because it was true. It was just like I was like a deer in headlights because there's the notion is black people and police don't get along. Well, that's what I heard. I don't know how true that is. But I obviously was operating from some PTSD from a past experience with law enforcement. So every time I saw law enforcement, it was just like, oh shit. I not having any contact or any interaction is like priority number one with police. you know. And in that case, I was so scared that I offered information because I was like, we going to, because this was during the pandemic.
It was just all bad.
And it was like curfew, and then it was like curfew, and I'm like, oh, we going to jail? We breaking curfew? It's a pandemic. And I bitched out, and then he sees that, you know, obviously let me know. He's the other homeboy. And then the other homeboy, Manny, was just like, yo, what the fuck?
That was funny. I remember that. That was a good breaking point.
It was
to win you over to my side.
Influential moment in terms of what my relationship with law enforcement was. It was that moment, because when I realized, I was like, I'm being fucking irrational. I'm so like,
you weren't making any sense.
I was doing things that just wasn't necessary.
So when you get nervous, like, you would just overspeak?
One time I had gave the police, like, he was like, he pulled me over, and at the time I didn't smoke weed, but I'm just like nervous and shit. I'm like, you know, like I'm holding my shit. I gave him my credit card instead of my ID. He's like, nah, I need your ID. And I was just like, man. And then another time I had like my hands out the car, and it was a black cop, and he came over. He came over. He's like, why are you doing that? I was like, nah, you know how y'all is. He was just like, nah. He's like, no, you have a weapon.
that is smart though. I agree with that.
You think that every time you get pulled over, you should put your hands on the car?
100%. If I'm in a car with y'all and we get pulled over, I'm telling everyone, put your hands in front of you.
But you don't like freedom?
What do you mean?
Like,
the thing is, I don't trust human beings, right? I don't know what this cop has been through. I don't know what videos I don't know if he just got a training. He just saw the videos of traffic stops gone wrong. I don't know what's in his mind. I know what's true to me. I don't know what's true to him. I can only control to a certain extent. So I want to increase my chances of having no problems. Right. Because then if I still have problems, then I know my back's against the wall and I have to fight. So I want to
eliminate.
It's how I live my life with all relationships. I want to be so in the right that when I fight, it's from a place of such authority that I have all that confidence to fight back. So yes, if I get pulled over from a cop, I want to make his life as easy as possible. Okay. I want to give him every opportunity to give him the best opportunity for him to make the right choices. And then if he still doesn't, then we go from there. Okay. So no, I fucking.
How do you feel about law enforcement? You like them?
I'm not a big fan.
Not a big fan.
No.
Okay. What's your opinion on law enforcement in America? We getting that today.
Useless.
Damn. But I kind of
just based on like personal experience.
Yeah.
There's been many times as a woman by yourself, when you do need them, you call on them, never there. Never available. And then if they are there, can't do nothing about what you have going on. So why? And then when you don't want them around, that's where they're gonna be. So it's like, why are you?
That's true.
Why are you here? What are you serving or protecting? Like,
anytime I needed them, they weren't very helpful.
Harassing citizens, rather than actual protecting and like doing their job.
When they had stole the whip, he was like, "Man, we gonna write a report," and I was like, "Man, you need to go out there and get my cop."
Like, you know what I was thinking about the other day?
You got cops going out. I'm sorry, excuse me. You have cops going out to work thinking they're gonna get shot and killed every day, and then you got citizens thinking that they're gonna get shot and killed every day. So it's just like intense.
I mean, cops definitely get shot more than citizens.
No.
Damn, there we go. Show's on. Let's go right now.
I think you would say that there's more. Well, it depends, but
to be honest with you, to be real with you, I'm so happy because it's like, I don't know. I have a high confidence that nigga has a stat he gonna pull or some shit.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't have any statistics, but I think logically there's more citizens than there is law enforcement.
So mathematically it would make more sense that more citizens will get shot. Mathematically it makes sense.
Yes.
No. Okay, so it's like, you know, as far as dangerous jobs, like, so there are more. What percentage of the population is in the military? It's like less than 1%.
Oh, right? I ain't know. I ain't want to say it's wrong.
I don't associate.
I was going to say 3%.
I have no association with the military. I have no clue.
But what percentage of infantrymen die? You know what I mean? So it's like, I guess what I'm trying to say is like, yes, there are more citizens than law enforcement, but your chances of dying from when you wake up, do your job, and go to sleep.
So you add that, right? Adding the component of the possibility of death.
Yeah.
Right. Based on the content.
Yeah, like I mean, as far as like literally, are there more police officers than citizens in general? I mean, I guess there's way too many citizens.
I would say
That's an easy.
Yeah, that's an easy. Yeah, way more people die from like heart attack, cancer, falling off a chair.
So you're adding that metric.
Yeah.
The metric is right. Okay.
What I meant to say is during police citizen interactions.
Yeah.
More police are being shot. Than,
I would think so.
I wouldn't think so.
Yeah.
Nigga, pull a stat.
Oh,
Have you Googled this?
I mean,
Or you got
Only
FBI.
because like there's so many casualties from police that like they kill people that they're not even looking for. Like that's the person.
That's right. That was
Oh,
that.
no.
They're always killing people by mistake.
no. The number of like
never intentional.
unarmed.
Oh, I thought their life was in danger.
The chances
therefore
of it-
they just shoot people.
Nah,
Was that
and
black
get
girl?
acquitted.
That black
There's
girl.
so many casualties. It's just happened so many times.
the number of unarmed deaths, like citizens unarmed being killed by cops, that number is like it's like 5 people per year. It's a tiny number compared to like how many people they stop.
that
how many
you're
interactions.
aware of.
Well, I'm talking about like the FBI statistics or whatever. I mean, I guess I mean
They could be sweeping
I
shit
can't-
up.
I can't.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, I can't go everywhere around the country and like.
You know what? No, because I was with you, and I was just like, well, yeah. How much of those are the ones that got reported and actually passed the litmus?
Exactly.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, how much malpractice is actually happening that's being covered up is a good question.
Yeah, I mean, and then we get into conspiracy theories, right? And then that is a tricky place to be in conversation, because at the end of the day, how much can we prove or unprove? So to a certain point, to a certain extent, we need to have some type of faith in the system that enough people would be interested enough to if they were completely lying, if the statistics were completely off, and there's way more, like they will be able to prove it somehow with death certificates. Like I would hope that some journalists or some groups of citizen journalists.
You don't remember the COVID vaccinations?
What about it?
This whole past? You got a lot of faith in the government.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, but here's the thing.
But why would you want a journalist to do that? Like,
No, but what I'm saying is I found independent sources that I was correct about COVID at the time where the mainstream wasn't. So those sources always existed. Mm-hmm. And I don't find those sources saying that all the other statistics are lies. So everybody is agreeing from the most part that the statistics are correct is what I'm saying. I've never found a source where they put together this evidence to suggest that actually when the government says, 20 citizens were unarmed when they were killed by police in the entirety of 2020 to 2023 or some shit. Whatever. I have never seen a source come and say, actually, if you consider this and you look at this and we compiled this data, you can see that it's a lie. I've never found that. You know what I'm saying? Even though during COVID, when mainstream was saying something, there were dissenters. That's what I guess is what I'm saying. I haven't never found a dissenter with credible evidence to suggest that those statistics are incorrect. But when you look at them from like the FBI and the CDC and all the bullshit where they keep track of all the deaths,
available information,
and they keep track of how everyone dies in the whole country as far as death certificates and whether it's homicide or blah 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 blah. Yeah, the number of people that cops are shooting and killing unarmed is
minuscule.
It's so tiny. Some guy went around asking people like, how many unarmed citizens or how many unarmed people were shot and killed by police, and everyone's thinking like it's 1,000. It's thousands, hundreds, thousands, and like I said, it's maybe a couple dozen.
Okay, that's
very rare.
Interesting.
So it's a lot of hype and fear mongering.
Well, I mean, I think it sells, right? Look what happening now with the subway that we were talking. We've been texting. I don't know if you're familiar with what happened in New York City. Some homeless guy gets choked out by Jordan Neely.
Yes.
He gets choked out by dude. He got charged.
Yeah,
he turned himself in.
I saw
he's out
it.
on bond now.
Yeah.
I mean,
But that's wild. So he everyone's thanking him. The people that are actually there are thanking him. The other people that were helping him to subdue the dude agreed with what was going on.
Right. Once I started hearing the description of like what the dude was like yelling and he was like
threatening
people.
them.
And I was just like, yeah, man, choke that nigga ass out. But
because of the dynamics, the media is going to sit there and say like, oh no, this is something that they need to protest about.
The thing is that he had mental health issues, so that is where the problem lies here. Is that if you have mental health and you see a person like spazzing out in the subway, you know that New York has those type of people in the subway. If he was known to be a performer, to be out there all the time, and he's probably doing it for money, he's homeless and struggling. Most likely, he was just probably having a bad day to where he was just like exploded, and then.
So I didn't know he had mental health issues. Obviously, right? Though.
But is that like a license to just attack people, or
no?
So you gotta.
But that doesn't give you a license. But why do you have to kill someone?
It was accidental. So it's like
if you're I'm sorry, excuse me. If he was like military based, like if that's what. That's what his background
is. He's like ex-Marine, right?
How do you not know? Like what you're doing is not going to kill him. So what are you trained for?
I don't know what his MOS in the Marines were. I don't know what his job was, but the same way they have like, special ops, super trained, like Call of Duty motherfuckers. They also have some guy pushing mail or cooking or chopping onions. That's also a Marine.
Another point would be to where I can
because his chokehold was terrible.
On Listen, a subway.
There's police that hold the role as police, and you got to question their training. You got to question their capabilities.
I'm nobody. If you gave me the opportunity to get your back the way Perry had Neely, I will choke you out without away your airflow.
No way.
Yeah, I would because it's
no. I do like neck exercise.
What I'm saying is there's certain techniques that you could take out. You could take out the blood flow and not the airflow.
Exactly.
And he didn't. His technique was terrible. So I don't know what training he got and
how much of it he retained. But how long he was up for how long.
At the end of the day, the death was it's a technicality. At the end of the day.
What I'm saying is that his intent was never to kill this guy. His intent was, along with the other two,
subdue him.
The other two good Samaritans were to subdue this guy who was threatening everyone on the train, who has a history of attacking people, been arrested 40 plus times.
Oh no! Choke that nigga ass out.
The city had like this not a top 10 wanted list, but like a top 10 most troubled homeless, and he was on that list. So it's like there's a lot of neglect. Man,
you should have started with that.
I'm just saying it's a lot of neglect where it's like if the
city's fault.
Exactly. And if you're now imagine you are a Marine, you served your country, you think you're doing the right thing, you're protecting these people on the train, everyone's thanking you for what you did. He accidentally died. You try to save him when you let go. You try to save him. He tried to like put him in the recovery position. Mm-hmm. Everyone's thanking him. Oh, thank you, whatever. And now you're facing 2nd-degree manslaughter.
If it was somewhere else, if it wasn't New York,
it's Kyle Rittenhouse 2.0.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie.
They're trying to make self-defense illegal,
and we got to push back on that. Given the information that's available, this guy's track here. Because there's a question of, when force is. It's such a gray area of when it's legitimately. It's okay to apply lethal force, but again, in this particular situation, he didn't intend
exactly.
So if you had to give him anything, involuntary manslaughter?
No, I wouldn't give him. I mean, I would have to figure out what our New York, because New York stand your ground and stuff.
I don't know their defense laws.
So as far as okay, so if we're gonna speak from a strictly legal point of view, I don't know, because New York City is shit. I don't know what their self-defense laws are. I don't know what right he had or didn't have to defend himself, because there's a lot of people who get surprised in certain cities where they find out that if someone enters their own home, they still have a duty to retreat. You can kill someone who enters your own house, and they're going to say, why didn't you escape out of the bathroom window?
Not in Florida.
And you're going to
Texas.
jail. No, see, Florida and Texas. Now we don't play. We got to stand your ground.
We going to fry your ass.
You don't even have to be in your house. And you know what? I think that helps with crime. I think that helps bring crime, because you don't know what soccer mom will blow your brains out.
100%.
It keeps people in check.
100%.
But yeah, so as far as a legal point of view, I don't know. I'm not going to judge because I didn't do the research, because I'm not into politics like that after, we talked about that in the past. So I don't follow politics as much as I used to. But I'm strictly from an ethical point of view, from like if I was dictator, if I was God of the country or God of the world, would I make what that guy did legal or illegal, I would make it 110% legal. I don't think his life should be hindered in any way, shape, or form for how he acted on that train.
He shouldn't even miss a day of work.
He should be rewarded. He should get keys to the city.
This nigga always good.
And you know what's crazy? I followed the Trayvon Martin situation. That was like one of the first things that I'm an expert on.
Let me tell you something. If it's one topic that me and this nigga
It's Trayvon Martin.
Weeks.
So I'm an expert.
I just feel like it's
Trayvon
just not
Martin.
as black as white as you make it seem. There's just so much more to it. It's not black and white.
Which one? The subway?
On both cases.
Yeah, but the Trayvon Martin I'm an expert on the Trayvon Martin case. Like I know, I followed that, and I saw how the news media would always put up these pictures of Trayvon Martin that the average person doesn't even know what Trayvon Martin actually looked like at the time that the offense happened.
You talking about the middle finger pictures?
All of them, the gun picture, the grill picture, the everything. The media consciously gave an image of Trayvon Martin and I see the same thing with Jordan Neely. All the average person sees is him freaking dancing and woohoo on. They don't show him psycho crazy. They don't show him, trying to choke a woman, trying to kill. Like they don't let people know the full picture of who this guy was. The same way they didn't let people know who Trayvon Martin
consciously
was.
Creating a narrative.
Exactly, and that's
the visual representation.
That for me is like the craziest thing for me to see. Like from the outside looking in, like wow, like they prey on people's humanity because the average person has so much shit in their life going on, right? Not everybody's gonna be like me, obsessed with like true crime and want to follow the trial and find out every single detail of exactly how it happened just for fun. Most people don't do that. Most people are watching Love Island and 90 Day Fiance and scrolling TikTok and scrolling Instagram.
Well, I think it's way more broader than that because
like you think George Zimmerman, you don't believe that he should have been found not guilty. Like you think the jury was just like a bunch of racist people.
Yeah, I think they were.
That's what I'm saying.
No, I'm fucking around. I still feel the way I feel. Let me tell you why. I understand how it went down, and I understand how the law worked.
Yeah.
So based on the facts, I understand. But me as just a human with common sense says that person was the antagonizer. That he created this circumstance.
Yeah.
So he played a role. He should have seen some. He should have received some kind of punishment for obviously recklessly harassing people. That because he has suspicions. Who gives you the authority to police people? You're not a fucking cop.
Yeah.
You don't get paid by us. Sit your ass down, bitch boy. So I don't think in no particular scenario is George Zimmerman the victim in my. I understand how the law resulted in him getting off, but he's not the victim in this story. Despite Trayvon Martin's personal life, wearing golds is not a crime. It's cultural. It's holding a gun is not a crime. I know all the white boys that got big sticks and they shit. So none of that shit you said is the way that we receive it. So when we see a black guy with a gun or we see a black guy with golds, now it's just like, oh shit, threatening, But it's not. Most of the guys I know with golds and guns, they get busy, but that's not all of them. That's not all of them.
Yeah. I mean, I guess for me, it's like the way I look at it is if I had a son in that situation or my father was in that situation or I was in that situation or if someone I knew or cared about was in that situation, who would I want them to act more like? And who would I want society to be more filled with? And I would want society, as far as how that situation actually played out, I would want more George Zimmermans and less Trayvon Martins.
This is where
and that's how I base my
get off the train.
I strongly disagree. That's the most ignorant thing I've ever heard in my life.
I kind of felt you was gonna go that way.
Yeah, but again, it's like
that's like saying, oh yeah, I will like a lot more Karens in the world. It'll make it a better place.
No, but I don't think George Zimmerman
like that white bitch you sent me.
I don't think George Zimmerman was being.
Yes, he was.
That irrational.
I'm a strong believer of minding your business. Yeah. If you're a grown man, and then you have a teenager passing by,
I'm sorry.
Yeah, he was just targeted. The guy Zimmerman went after him. He could have simply just minded his business and let him walk home.
You know, from
the store, it wasn't that hard.
Yeah, but you see, I didn't live in I don't live in a neighborhood that was being previously terrorized by burglaries.
But he also had
that led to the neighborhood watch in the first place. So my house, my neighborhood, there's no, my neighbors aren't being robbed right now. Who am I to say how I'm going to act if tonight, while I'm here, my neighbor got robbed? 2 days later, a few blocks down, neighbors, that house got robbed. Cops they come late, they don't do shit. A couple days later, another house in the neighborhood gets robbed. All of a sudden now I'm saying, okay, these motherfuckers' house get robbed. Let's set up a neighborhood watch. Let's start walking around patrolling because cops ain't doing their job. And then on night number 7, night number 9, this situation happens. I don't know who am I to say how I'm going to defend my house when their neighborhood was being consistently attacked and the cops weren't doing anything.
If you see somebody in the act, that's when you take it upon yourself to do something about it. Now, if you're following someone coming home from the store,
he played.
He looked for that.
He called the police.
Yes, and he should have waited.
And he was waiting.
And then if you believe in what you really say about having faith in the system, he should have done the same thing. Called the police and waited.
He did.
And then how did Trayvon die?
Because what happened was Trayvon Martin got mad that he was being followed at first.
If it was me, I probably would have reacted the same way. That's creepy.
So he went and he confronted Trayvon. He confronted George Zimmerman and attacked him. And then when they fought in the fight,
he took out a gun.
Well, so that's where it gets
He was
tricky.
Always the threat. Just him having a gun on him, he should have been more considerate.
Trayvon Martin gets on top of George Zimmerman and is pretty much beating his ass. And then George Zimmerman from below getting beat up alleges that Trayvon went for the gun once the gun was exposed in that tussle of him getting beat up. And then George Zimmerman fired first. And he died.
This person, whoever put that Crime Watch thing together, whoever did that, it should be their fault too. Like, why would you have these type of people?
No, he has
controlling.
No, it was him. He wanted to be a cop.
So he took it upon himself.
Yeah, he took it upon himself.
He has a complex. He
wanted to be a cop.
Law enforcement knows him.
100%.
So you gotta give him the context.
I'm not saying George Zimmerman was a model citizen or he did everything correct.
He's a piece of shit.
I'm just saying that when you look at the full facts of what was going on, what the context was going on, it's not some evil guy who just was hunting black people because he looked suspicious.
Maybe so, but it doesn't make it okay that he should just not get away with killing Trayvon, period. That might be true. He could be a good person and he might have made that mistake that day. Doesn't take away.
If I'm being attacked by somebody, I shouldn't be able to defend myself?
He was the person that did the attacking. He should have left Trayvon alone to begin with. I'm a firm believer in that, and I'm not going to change my mind about it. I don't care what another person thinks when I'm crossing the street. It's not their business. Yeah, what do you mean?
When you look at George Zimmerman's on the phone with the cop, and when you look at the satellite imagery of of where everything happened, and when you follow the truck and where they were walking, it looks like George Zimmerman's walking. He's walking, and pretty much when the dispatcher tells George Zimmerman stop following him, he says okay, he stops. But then Trayvon Martin comes back and confronts George Zimmerman. Why are you following? And attacks George Zimmerman. Obviously not knowing that George Zimmerman had a gun. But, the
police told him to stop following him.
And that's when he stopped.
And he continued.
No, he stopped at that point. Well, I mean, I guess there's no way to 100% say he stopped or stopped, but the evidence shows more likely that he did stop at that point. And then Trayvon Martin came back to meet him at that spot between the backyards of the witnesses that did see the actual struggle with Trayvon Martin on top beating his ass because he was way bigger than George Zimmerman. This is what I'm saying. George Zimmerman is a guy who's worried about his neighborhood. He's worried about houses being robbed because he had reason to believe that they were being robbed. And it was suspicious to him that it was raining, and Trayvon Martin is slowly walking through the rain and not like cutting through the neighborhood in the rain. And, listen, we can all say maybe that would be me. Maybe I would like to feel the rain on me and not be, trying to get to where I'm trying to go. Whatever. George Zimmerman calls the cops because he wants the cops to intervene and stop a burglary that has been terrorizing the neighborhood that whole time. George Zimmerman follows him. He doesn't want him to get away. George Zimmerman is then attacked by Trayvon Martin. Now, at that point, it's life for life.
Well, when you broke it down like that, you literally just said he went after Trayvon, then Trayvon attacked him. Yeah,
exactly.
Because if you don't feel safe, I think you should be able to defend yourself. And as we mentioned before, Zimmerman was following Trayvon. And after being told not to.
He definitely incited the situation, unfortunately. And you have a minor who's gonna be, who's not going to have all the rationality there to make the wise decision.
Yeah.
It was incumbent on George Zimmerman to approach and communicate, say, hey, man, even there was an opportunity for him to diffuse, and it was too many opportunities for George Zimmerman to diffuse. Now, I get your argument, which is like, I'm getting my head slammed into the concrete.
What do you do?
At some point, I have to like defend myself or die. If indeed, he was in that true fear.
George Zimmerman didn't yell at Trayvon Martin, didn't scream at Trayvon Martin, didn't threaten Trayvon Martin. All George Zimmerman did was follow him on the phone with the cops to wait for the cops to come take over and do their job, which they haven't been doing previously. Trayvon Martin gets upset. It's acknowledged he was on the phone with his homegirl. This cracker is following me. He's obviously holds resentment that I would say was pre-programmed into him through the media and all that bullshit. Where he's being racist, saying this cracker this and cracker that, and then
it's not illegal to say cracker.
Yeah,
and it's not racist to say cracker. It's racist to say nigga.
What I'm saying is Trayvon Martin obviously felt negative towards George Zimmerman without George Zimmerman threatening his life.
No, the simple fact that you have a man being weird around you.
And I'm a kid. I'm a minor.
Yeah. I probably would have reacted the same way because why are you following me? Why are you on a phone? You're being creepy.
You're giving me pedo
I'm not going to be like, oh my God, he's trying to make sure that I'm safe in this. No.
Yeah, but what? So that's fine. But what I'm saying is if Trayvon Martin's then going to turn around, confront George Zimmerman and attack him, now he made that decision. You have to face the consequence of that decision. And you don't just have the right to kill this man. You don't have the right to maim him however you feel fit because he followed you. So Trayvon Martin does not have a license to just completely mutilate, destroy George Zimmerman's face because George Zimmerman followed him. So at a certain point, George Zimmerman has his rights as a human being to defend himself.
When they actually had that interaction, and it's hard to say because I guess, there's obviously no audio or video really.
No,
right?
but there's a few people that came out of their backyards and saw.
What was there's
a trajectory of the bullet.
The discourse, of the like what escalated it? Because obviously I could be like, why are you following me? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like what was it, that not because in the way that you describe it would be like, all right, Trayvon Martin makes the conscious decision to turn around and say, fuck it, I'm going to confront him.
100%.
And goes full 100 into his face.
That's
like, what you doing?
When you look at the call logs, when you look at the floor plan of the neighborhood, that's really the only explanation that makes sense was Trayvon Martin essentially turned around and came back and confronted George Zimmerman. Okay. And they fought, and George Zimmerman had a gun on him and used it to defend himself and won that battle.
I'm always going to feel conflicted about this particular story and this experience because as a father,
my problem isn't even people disagreeing. My problem is that is not having the real picture laid out for then people to make the decision. I'm fine with people disagreeing.
An informed decision.
Exactly. That's my problem. My problem is that the media at the time was just straight lying. About everything. About lying about Trayvon Martin, lying about the circumstances.
Was this the first case you ever studied
O.J. Simpson was the first one.
Really?
But Trayvon Martin was the first one that I lived through.
Because you're younger than me, and I remember O.J. Simpson. And
that's what I'm saying. That was in hindsight. Trayvon Martin was the first one that I followed in real time, watching the entire the full hours, not the highlights. Watching the full testimony.
You know which one the case that I got super invested. Was that crazy bitch, Casey Anthony? She was kind of cute too, but she's like a baby killer.
Yeah.
She got out free, I think. Too.
Yeah. She got out free.
She was. It's okay for white women to kill their babies.
No,
pretty much.
That was wild.
If Zimmerman could get away with it, I don't see why she couldn't. She didn't do it.
that bitch did it.
Yeah. That one's weird.
That was a weird one.
She got pretty privileged.
She got pretty privileged because I would see her and I'm like, wow, she looked like the girl from Sons of Anarchy, you know, the wife, and I was just like, wow, because it's infatuating because you be like, you're pretty, you kind of cute, you shouldn't be killing babies, you know, and I guess America
wanted to live
felt
that
the same
single
way.
life.
She did. Like when she was partying in the midst of like after, I was just like, oh hell nah, bitch, you ain't supposed to be partying. She did that.
That's wild.
And she was found what, not guilty?
I believe so.
I think so.
I didn't follow that one too closely.
Yeah, I think
How
so.
did the evidence
She
work in that one?
she
She
got
didn't do
off.
it.
I know there was the parents were involved to some degree where I guess I think I think at the end of the day it was more of a sense of like negligence and shit like that. It was just like she didn't. I don't think the bitch. I think the bitch like fucked up because she likes to get turned up and have hot girl summers, and her baby fucking died. And then the dad, she called her dad like, oh my God, they're gonna send me to jail. And then the dad was like, man, we're gonna bury that little bitch in the backyard or in the forest. And that's what happened. I didn't mean to call her a bitch, I'm sorry. It was fucked up. I don't support that shit. You should not kill your babies.
Nah.
That's why we
So you're
pro-life. That's what you was gonna go with it?
She innocent.
She's innocent. She on Tinder. Nah, I'm from Plump. I would never date that bitch. I can't ask her to watch
Was that here in
kids.
Florida?
That was it. That was like Orlando or something.
Of course.
Like that.
It had to be Florida.
who? Casey Anthony?
Yeah.
She had to be.
That was?
That's Florida.
Oh,
bro.
because Trayvon Martin was definitely Florida.
Here, yeah.
That was
There's
right by me. Too.
There's
I was
literally
right by there.
The land of chaos.
Yeah, Florida has a tinge.
Florida
like,
man.
you'd be like, yeah, right. It's just like they had to be from Florida, and I'd be like, what the fuck y'all mean, man?
Like, remember that story I sent you with the deer and the meth and the tape diaper, the lady? It was fake, but the fact that it was so believable because you believe anything if they say it happened in Florida.
Nah, that's some true shit. I ain't gonna lie. It's you know, damn, I had something too. Okay, here's one. Can we take a refill break?
Okay.
Refill break. Anybody you hungry?
No,
No. How you liking it so far?
it's great.
Great. Okay.
Be honest.
Be honest. Yeah.
No, it's great.
Okay.
Happy to be here.
There you
Okay.
go.
Okay.
How is it hearing your voice in your ear? And
It's weird.
it is.
Is it?
Yeah, I gotta get used to it.
Do you like your voice?
No, I feel like I sound so low, but that's how I sound. So
We can turn.
Oh no.
no, it's not. It's not
low.
the mic. It's me.
Like low pitch.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You're not projecting or
Yeah.
something. Yeah. It.
Or you mean like bass to treble?
But yeah, my voice.
Yeah, low. I think.
No, I'll get
What you
used
mean
to
like?
it.
Oh, you mean like in volume or you just
No, like in pitch.
actual like in pitch?
Like I talk very low. Like I'm not speaking with my.
Oh, so
projection.
volume.
My
Volume.
bass.
Okay, volume.
Yeah.
'Cause I was like, what
okay.
I was like, oh, what you?
It just sounds weird. I'll get used to it though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, it's the cool thing about this thing is it didn't take long for him because he started like he's very much like he's a studier. So he'll go back and watch all the episodes and he'll start correcting things he doesn't like. Whereas for myself, like it's a process. You will find your voice. You know, like I ain't know, like I would jump in and out of like different dialects at some time, and I've thought about it. I was like, I'm probably confusing everybody. Because either I'm like super articulate or I'm urban.
I had a really bad
I
stutter.
have an issue with balancing those two things out too.
Exactly.
I had a really bad stutter, and the more I watch this, play it back, it gets better.
and I used to mimic you all the time. But this nigga say that shit 10 times. I'm like, man, get to it. But yeah, and then you got to a place he's because I will watch Caesar and I'm like, damn, this nigga is not sweating. Damn, my bad. You know, I'm gonna beep it. I'm gonna bleep it too. I'm gonna find it and I'm gonna bleep it. I will find, and he would not sweat, and it just came down to just be like, I'm me. You know, I'm gonna be honest and thank you, bro. Be honest and
No, I'm good, thank you.
should we keep it on recording? Just
you
be
can pause it if you want.
okay. Yeah.
Pause it. I think we all need a
The Big Bang Theory. I think they might have disproved it.
How?
That's what they said. I saw it on YouTube.
You can't throw that bomb and not have anything.
All right, yeah, we can't just jump back in there.
But you don't got anything. You don't got like.
Well, I think it's. Oh man, I gotta.
You talking about my field?
Yeah, all right.
I love science.
Before we get deep there, there's me and before you got here, we were doing some green room talk. Yep, that's right. Getting to know Maddie, and she said something to me that was super interesting. So Maddie, you are Dominican and what?
Puerto Rican.
Dominican, Puerto Rican. Okay.
Who's who?
My dad's side is Dominican and my mom's side is Puerto Rican.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right. I'm with it. You know, I grew up around all of them. You know, I got my youngest daughter Dominican, half Dominican, and my oldest daughter is half Puerto Rican.
Hey.
Yeah.
Shout out to DRPR.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right.
Dominicano soy.
How old are you?
29.
29. She's at that. It's about to get real. You're turning 30.
Yes.
And you ain't got to give us your real birth date, but how long before the big 30 hit?
A couple of months.
Oh, so you got some time. Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. And you shared something with me that was like super interesting, and I thought that would be a great topic because there's so much to unpack. Like, what happened? You said you've never really had a celebration for your birthday, and 2, in almost 30 years of your life, you've never been to a club.
Correct. Yes.
Lounge.
He's got it now. He's like, well, hold on. Let's describe all the other potentials.
Like, what are you calling a club? What are you considering a club?
Even a lounge, a bar, none of those things. I've never been to one.
See, I told you there's a lot to unpack.
Yeah.
There's a lot to unpack.
So is there a reason for that, or?
It just was never my thing. Yeah.
So you was just like naturally like a homebody. You just never cared about it.
Yeah, it was never my thing. I never prioritized it. When I was younger, like I had responsibilities, so it's not like, it was all about fun and going out and whatnot. I was always working, so it just never happened, and I never prioritized it. And I'm like, well, they don't pay me to go to the club, so why should I?
So how does that work with like being in the music industry? Because in my mind, I'm thinking,
but that's kind of working. Like, so, right, yeah, because sometimes,
music is played at the clubs.
Gotta go to the club. You know, most of the time, the people that are in the
networking
clubs,
happens at the clubs. I'm assuming
networking does happen in the clubs.
I'm ignorant to this, so I don't.
No, you're right. You're right. In a certain particular era, I think that closer to the era that you were like operating in, there was there was more availability to have to network outside of the club. One of my biggest griefs about living in Miami is just like it's business here. It's hard to actually get business done because we're such a like known for just coming in, partying and hanging out. So like you can what you tell me in the club don't really mean shit. It's like what I see when the business get done usually be in the studio and shit like that, which is probably something that have you done a lot of studio sessions?
I have been to the studio a couple of times. Yeah.
You like it?
It's okay. Yeah, I
Nobody
like curating music. Like it could be fun. It can be.
So the podcaster in me wants to like go to a club and then podcast and then come back and talk about it.
Exactly.
So, are you opposed to going, or just it hasn't happened naturally?
Yeah, it hasn't happened naturally, but I'm not opposed to it at all.
Okay.
I think he was saying it. He was like, man,
I was like, maybe for my 30, it might be
the big 30. I'm like,
it might be the year I'm gonna go to the club.
Take it to Amsterdam.
God damn.
And I was just telling audio, like, what if I go to the club for the first time and then I can't get out of the club? Like, what happens then?
That's a good point.
Nah.
Should you open Pandora box?
You know, most likely what would happen is 2 things. You're either gonna like it or not, right?
Yeah.
And if you do like it, you might just have like a season of it. But you're gonna burn out. Yeah, club fade. But then it's gonna burn out because the energy, the time, the money is just.
Which I don't have.
Exactly. So life might force you to regulate how often you're clubbing, anyways.
Yeah, right. I'm just saying that.
That's a very practical breakdown of it.
Yeah.
Or you could be totally irresponsible and be like, "Yo, fuck it, I'm going out."
I was talking to my friend. So I took my boy to his first strip club for his birthday.
I think you told me about it.
Yeah, no, but I found out. Shout out, you know who you are. I found out that After I took him,
He went a couple more times.
he went.
So you open Pandora box.
Exactly, but you see, I had my time when I first went, and I spent like 2 weeks going an irresponsible amount of time.
Do you still enjoy the club?
Not the same. I enjoy taking people to experience it. You know what I mean? Like,
I have a question. What do you do at the club?
strip club?
Any club? Well, yeah, I guess.
Oh, no, you do got to break it down.
I don't know.
No. Okay, so
I like the strip club, but not for what you think.
All right, so if we went to Amsterdam.
Okay. Is this a club or actual Amsterdam?
No, Amsterdam is a Dominican club. When I went there, I felt like I was in the capital, and I went to one of the clubs there in the capital.
Okay.
So that's the last club I went to. That's why it's fresh on my mind. So if we went to this nightclub, you're going to be sitting at a table, people watching all kinds of interesting characters, listening to very loud music.
It's like bachata.
It's everything.
Okay.
It's everything.
Okay.
And and drinking a bottle, getting some appetizers, smoking a hookah, and then if you want to dance, you dance. If you don't, you don't.
Do they give you a bucket of ice with Presidentes in it?
You can get a bucket of beer. I've always done a bottle.
I'm trying to see if it's like a real Dominican club. They said, all right,
you can do that. But to get a table, it's easier to just get a bottle.
Okay.
So,
okay. I've been running away from invitations to go clubbing so much because I did it so much in the music industry. Like, I just fucking... At this point, I was like, I've never really liked this shit.
Yeah.
Except for the strip club, because the strip club was a different experience.
I had my club phase.
How different is the strip club?
For me, the strip club was a place where we all linked up. Like, it wasn't so much about the entertainment. It was just like, this is where our little section is going to go, drink some Remy, and do a bunch of nigga shit. But I can count how many dances I've ever had in my life. It's probably like 2 or something like that.
I was a sponsor.
You was going crazy?
I was sponsoring college.
You was
tuition.
going crazy?
I was curing cancer.
You ever went to the Champagne Room?
So no, I've never been to Champagne Room. I've gotten a ton of private dances.
Private dances? I've never had a private dance.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so you doing it? Okay.
It got to the point where we were like friends with the dancers. They were like telling us their real names.
Yeah, you was regulars. Yeah.
Like they would like, because we were cool. My boys and I, we were cool. So they would like leave like the old rich guy who's a little weird. They'll like make their money and they'll come to us like when they didn't need a break. Like, and like that to us. Guy, and shit. We were like their freaking boyfriend.
I used to love seeing it in Tussies. You see the old fat white guy with the suspenders, and I was like, wow, he's gonna have the time of his life.
I've seen some wild shit. I've seen some wild stuff, but no, it's out of my system at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds fun.
Strip club?
Kind of, sort of.
It sounds like it can be.
Because you've never been to that either.
Never.
Are you completely opposed to going to that?
Not at all.
Okay, so.
Oh, Lord.
We got a lot of red solo talk experiments.
Oh, Lord.
We got to do some out, then we come back. See, remember, that's what I always wanted for this podcast was to be able to live life and then discuss it here. I was always a little averse to, reading something and then regurgitating it because like anyone could read it. Anyone could read it.
You're right. All right.
I have the most fun talking about my snowmobiling, talking about...
That was a good segment.
Exactly. Talking about things real life. Exactly.
It was real life. It was a real experience. And to pull away from it with some substance other than I'm regurgitating, what was one of the topics? It was like childism.
So like, yeah. So imagine we all go to Scarlett's.
Okay. Has to be Scarlett's.
I mean...
You know what it was? They made me take my hat off. And I was like, these bitches taking their bra off. So,
Still, have some class. Scarlett's is top shelf. Scarlett's is...
11 is...
I haven't... I'm going to 11 end of this month. So I went there for my 25th birthday.
11 is if you like European type of... It's like a sedity...
We could do Scarlett's and Tootsie's.
I used to like... I used to go to Cheetah's a lot.
You let us know which one you like better.
Or you want to go to... What type of music would you... If you was to go to a strip club, what music would you want to hear?
I don't even know.
Do you listen to like EDM music?
No.
Oh, damn. She probably wants Scarlett. It's gonna be.
Oh, you're right. So Tootsie's is more. Tootsie's,
I have no clue.
Tootsie's.
She's like a baby.
You know what? Okay, you know what we do? We this will be a red solo talk event.
Field trip.
And we'll do Scarlet's first.
We're going to
pregame, and then Tootsie's will be the real deal. You can do that.
You can do that.
Culturally, it's one or the other. I'm a Scarlet's guy, but you're definitely a Tootsie's guy.
Ooh, I would like to try.
But let me tell you.
That's what I'm saying.
Tootsie's, I ain't gonna lie. Even though they played a lot of, they would mix it in with a little bit of like. That's why I like Cheetahs, because Cheetahs would play like EDM and Jeezy somehow, some way. I don't even know if Cheetah's still there though. But I used to frequent the urban hood strip clubs a lot. The Take Ones, the Mints, the Cocos when it was Cocos. So Rolex when it was the Rolex. So I've been to a lot of the urban places, and what we would typically do there, we would just get a section, get a bottle, and just listen to all the music we would listen to at home.
Right. Exciting.
But together.
So you're signing a contract, a verbal contract. Will you experience clubbing for Red Solo Top?
Yes, in the future.
There we go. Sign in blood, baby. Sign in blood. I don't even know what clubs are out. The
I guess we gotta figure this out.
The last place I used to stomp that was just like the you ever did iguanas?
No. I almost did iguanas.
Y'all missed it.
Oh.
I like
It
Amsterdam.
doesn't exist anymore?
Nah, iguanas ain't around.
For real?
Yeah, iguanas used to
How
be.
did we not know this?
It was on.
I pass by it every day. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go.
It's in
right
Prem
down
River.
there.
It's not there. Y'all missed the era.
I went right before I was 21. I thought I could get in at 18, and they didn't let me in, and that was the closest I ever got.
They were serious about the door, but because you know what was cool about iguanas, I lived so close that if you got peeled, there was a high likely chance you weren't gonna crash out. And it was just a weird place to put a club, but it was the perfect place to put a club because it's like right.
I like Amsterdam.
Where's that?
It's right off of Hollandale and US 1.
Okay.
Right in front of Gulfstream.
Okay.
And it's a Dominican nightclub, and it's like really popular right now.
I should try that one too.
Exactly, and you get to feel like you're in the cap. You get the club here,
I would love,
and you get the club in the capital.
I would love a Dominican club experience.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay. So
I've been to the club.
So you've never been to Boulevard? Were you never club?
No.
That's what I'm saying.
I've never been
Boulevard
to
era.
I was around when it still was a thing, but I've never went into
Amsterdam.
it. I don't even know what it looked like.
You know what? I act like it was all that. My first time there, I was awake for 30 minutes.
Everybody made it
and
seem
then I
like
got
it
carried
was
out.
the place to be.
Boulevard.
You know, it was. I ain't gonna lie.
I did Boulevard a couple times.
There was I'm gonna tell you where it got trill at. You know, shout out my Cuban family that assimilated into Dominican culture. They brought me every weekend. Y'all know if y'all Latin, y'all understand. There's something to do every weekend. We either barbecuing, go to the beach, or it's somebody party or whatever, or we going out. And they took me to this club called Nuevo Cafe. It's in the hood. It looks like the hood to me. And we get there, and I'm like, all right, shit, let's go. And we get there, and it's a house with a patio and a pool table. And I'm like, in like a residential area. I'm like, well, hold on. What is you walk inside, it's disco lights, it's little tables with buckets of ice and president. And I'm like, oh, this is what it's like to party in the Dominican Republic.
That's what I'm saying. I've partied in DR.
Okay.
Yes.
Too hard. And
I have been around the parties in DR.
Okay.
They're lit.
Yeah.
I haven't gone to
so
them. I've been around them.
Amsterdam is close.
Yeah.
It's really close. So Amsterdam
They have
is.
Spanish music like bachata, merengue.
So did you learn to dance growing up, or did you miss that without going to the, you know what I mean? Or you had house parties growing up?
Okay.
Do you still count when you do your bachata? Like 1, 2, 3, hip.
Story. So
Hip. 2, 3, hip.
I can do the basic moves. That's about it.
Oh, okay.
No, I don't. I'm not a dancer. I grew up with a very conservative Dominican religious family.
Oh, wow.
So to them,
Oh shit!
like, oh my God, you're dancing. That's like evil.
See, when I see stuff like that, the only Dominicans.
Get ready for Amsterdam.
When I hear that in terms of like Dominican families, it's such a it's abnormal to me because all the Dominican people I grew up with was just straight up like. They were like us, you know, so I didn't really, like, when I met him and he told me he was Dominican, I was just like, I don't understand how. Because culturally, I know he's Dominican, But culturally, he ain't the Dominicans I know.
Yeah.
You know, so and I mean, you know, he was articulate. He didn't have an accent.
Hey.
Oh shit! Was that right? Oh shit!
You sound like Biden talking about Obama.
Oh,
Yo, I just caught on what I just did. But be real, man. You know how Dominicans give it up. You know they.
Fun fact: I'm at I'm in a resort in Dominican Republic.
Okay.
Long story short, I've intertwined with a Puerto Rican family because I'm macking it with the daughter. We'll leave it at that. And I'm with the family, and they started talking shit about Dominicans because they're assuming this whole time that I'm Puerto Rican because I kind of look like Daddy Yankee at the time.
You can pass.
Yeah, so they, you know, so I have my mirror sunglasses and my Daddy Yankee look. I went to Mexico and I had little kids come up to me asking me for my autograph. They thought I was Daddy Yankee. Anyways,
look at Selena.
So they're talking shit about DR because a bunch of the locals came. It was the weekend, you know, on the weekend in the resorts in DR, they get filled with locals. So they're talking shit, and I was like, you know, I told them, I was like, oh, I'm Dominican. They felt so bad. They're like, oh, I thought you were.
But yeah, talking shit.
So my dad when I was growing up, my dad let me know, like, hey, Dominicans have a certain like stereotype. Be aware of it, be conscious of it, and just know that if people are going to assume certain things about you if they know that you're like a Dominican guy, and just be aware of what it is so you know how to navigate around it.
I want to jump in and say that like Puerto Ricans naturally have like something against Dominicans, and being from both sides, actually living in the island and then experiencing it firsthand, like I just think that it's both. Puerto Ricans don't like Dominicans. Dominicans don't like Puerto Ricans. At the end of the day, it's who we get along with the best.
She like me.
I'm pretty sure you like her too.
Because when I think about the PRs and the DRs, you know, it's like, y'all like the niggas to me of the Spanish spectrum. You know what I'm saying? Like DRs, the PRs. The Cubans was at one point too. They moved up in the world a little bit. But, you know, you don't think about it when you think like Colombian, Venezuelan, Argentinian. You get the real European type of element. So I agree with you 100% that, yeah, there's because I had that same, I won't say prejudice, or I had those same concepts and constructs of stereotypes of like Dominican
That's what started
people.
this conversation.
It's my racism.
You said that when you met my family, you used to like, oh, they're not like the typical.
I swear to God, y'all articulated and enunciated, and I was like, these ain't Dominicans. These ain't even real Dominicans.
Yeah, we private Catholic school Dominican.
Yeah, I was like, these ain't. I don't know which ones these is. These ain't the ones we grew up with.
You know what? I'm proud of myself just saying the story now. In hindsight, like, you know, even though the box was there, like I did not, like I defended myself. I was like, no, hey, I'm Dominican. Stop talking shit about it. Like,
right.
I like stood up for.
You could have been.
I could have just played dumb to.
Yeah, just kind of just. You got integrity, man. He's like, I ain't gonna sell myself out for the vagina. That's why, you know, that's why you're a real one. So all right, so we do know in the future, in the possible future, Red Solo Talk, RST. Field trip
to Amsterdam. It's not possibly. It was a verbal contract that you signed with the word yes.
And we know we know your schedule too. So
30th.
30. Oh yeah, your birthday. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, in a couple of months.
There we go.
In the future.
Okay. All right. It doesn't mean anything, but what sign is it so I can know what month it is?
No, I don't know.
You don't know your sign?
I'm a Cancer.
Oh, that's just like next.
Yeah.
Because my brother's a Cancer. Yeah, he's in June.
And you are a.
I'm a what?
Aquarius.
You know?
I don't even know.
He's an Aquarius?
Yeah.
Are you Aquarius?
Yeah.
How do you know?
I don't know.
I don't subscribe to the astrology.
Are you into astrology at all?
I am knowledgeable of it, but it's not like I live in.
Like, can you guess what I am?
What's that?
I don't know. You give me Gemini vibes.
Oh.
Damn.
Was I right?
No.
Yeah.
Another one.
Another
I
guess.
give up.
Oh, okay. Virgo.
Oh,
That's
God.
why I like you. Grandma's a Virgo. My daughter. No. Is it my daughter? Yeah. Oh yeah.
Shout out to the Virgos.
Shout out to the Virgos and the Libras Even though I don't subscribe to it, but you know what's kind of funny though? It could be projection, and my want to probably these things be the truth, but it does tend to be fucking close.
Nah, hell no.
For me, it'd be really fucking close. It'd be like, you know, you don't even like people, and I'd be like, that's true.
Yeah, I could see it. I can see how the characteristics match with the.
But you said, "Oh God," when I said Virgo.
Yeah, I like Virgos.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
It could be a good and a bad thing. I don't know.
What y'all niggas known for? I know my grandma.
I don't know.
I like my grandma.
I don't know what Virgos are known
Virgos
for.
are like a super. When you think of a Virgo, I guess Beyonce is the best person to use as
Virgo?
an example. She's a Virgo. They're super like hardworking, analytical, grounded about their money.
See what the? It's kind of like.
All right.
Is it kind of like?
They tend to be like a very logical sign. Yeah.
It's I don't get it. Because then you can say Scorpio and everybody knows a Scorpio and y'all be like, yeah, he a Scorpio or she's a Scorpio.
And you're Aquarius?
That's a real thing.
And I'm an Aquarius. That's
So
right.
you're just like Eric.
I have no problem cutting people off
Yeah.
and being disconnected.
And I'm logical.
And I'm
Yeah.
a Cancer. I'm emotional. That's what they say.
No, it's true. My brother, he's a Cancer, and one thing that I never seen a nigga like hold.
What's the range for Cancer? Like July,
Oh,
August?
what's the date range?
Yeah,
Oh, I
June,
don't
July.
fucking know. Yeah,
From
yeah.
June to July.
Yeah, because my brother's in the latter part of the month, so yeah, it would cross over or overlap into July. But he's like one of them niggas like you cross him and he internalizes it, he holds it. He's like that's son of he's gonna keep that with him. Whereas to me, it's just kind of like God.
I learned that's a thing with like Cancer men. Tend to be
That's
that
my
way.
my brother's very much
don't
like
know
that.
how to, like-
that nigga take some shit
Yeah. I feel like they don't know how to process emotion properly.
He's getting better at it. Shout out to you, man. Shout out to you, bro.
We're happy to not talk about our family on the.
I'm the oldest out of 8. They don't know which one. Shout out to you, buddy. You're doing good. I'm proud of you. I told him the other day. I was like, you're the best one of us all. Yeah. He's that's my nigga.
You have
Of
siblings?
course he is. Yeah, I do.
What?
I have 2 older sisters and 2 younger sisters.
Oh wow, you're in the middle.
No. Well, from my mom's side, I have 2 older sisters, so I'm the youngest. And then from my dad's side, I'm the oldest.
Oh, okay.
I have 2
Oh,
younger
that's interesting.
sisters. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, close.
I'm the baby.
Well, I'm closer more to towards my sisters from my mom's side, but my younger sisters, no, I don't really get to talk to them.
Is it like is it geographical? Like you're just not in the same
Or
place?
proximity. You grew up with them more. Yeah.
We just live in a different state.
Yeah, I get that.
And then me and my older sisters were closer in age.
Okay, so you have more to. It's like when I get around my like 22-year-old sister, and I be like, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
Here's $20.
I think that's how old she is.
I'm
and
the
I'm
oldest,
like, I don't
yeah.
even know how to like chill with
Communicate.
Even with considering halves, you're the oldest.
Oh, I'm the oldest.
Even with halves.
I got a brother that's 5 days younger than me. So technically, I'm the oldest.
Is that 5 days?
Yeah.
Hey man,
Hey,
we
shout
need
out.
to get your dad on the
Shout
podcast.
out, bro. You know,
You outed him as a PIMP.
Yo, Daddy was a Rolling Stone, baby. Daddy was a Rolling Stone, baby. But yeah,
5 days apart.
oldest out of
That's celebrity shit. That's some Nick Cannon shit right there. 5 days apart.
You know, my funny story is my grandmother, old Spanish grandmas. I don't know if y'all know. Y'all know about old black grandmas, but old Spanish grandmas is different. My grandma used to be like, "Don't stand next to the microwave. You don't get radiation." And I was like, "This lady is crazy."
Yeah, my mom still thinks about like wet hair and like cold.
They hold on to these urban legends, I guess. But she used to say all the time, she was like, "Alex, you know," I didn't say that name. She was just, yeah, right. They ain't call me as audio as a baby, but
You're audio for them.
that's right. And she used to say things like, "You know, you have a twin." And see, in the beginning, I don't give a fuck. This is my life. It's real. My grandma used to talk shit about my daddy. But she fucked with my daddy, but she used to talk shit about my daddy.
Yeah.
He's like, you know, negro. And I'm like, why you calling him that?
Hispanic
Why you
grandma.
calling him that? You know, yeah, he's black. And she's like, you know, you got a twin. And I was like, man, my grandma a hater. And then come to find out, one fucking day, my brother ex-girlfriend hits me up. She's like, yo, Alex, I don't give a fuck. You keeping it real. She's a nigga on here on MySpace saying he's your brother. And I'm like, let me see that nigga. Because now I'm
Who's more
thinking,
handsome?
whoa, no, we equal. Nah, I'm competitive with all my brothers and sisters. I'm the one that got all the
Who's taller?
The D-Lo. D-Lo, and he in the gym now, so he think he you know, but of all my brothers and sisters, I am the most handsome and most talented.
Amazing. Good for you.
Yeah. You know,
I'm the baby.
I just want to set the bar.
I'm the baby. So I'm the baby of 4. So
and they gonna watch this.
I like to think like I'm like the best iteration.
I
I'm
think
the best sibling.
Yeah. So
From both sets. That's how I feel.
I got to learn from all their mistakes too. So I'm like the refined.
So that's why this chemistry can work, because we all kind of got a little bit of narcissism.
There you go.
I got it.
You do?
There's nothing narcissistic about me.
I don't. Okay. You know, I don't know enough about yourself. I think we all have like some sentiment, just like I think a narcissism was more like a spectrum.
Yeah. What am I, a cerebral narcissist?
You could just be confident, like, you know, I'm the best sibling. It doesn't have to be narcissism. It's just a fact.
That's true, because a nigga had came at us on I remember you two fuck boy. In the comments.
we had like
is that called narcissism? I was like, you fucking bitch.
I mean, I agreed with him. He made a good point.
That's why I'm hating. That's why I'm hating, because it's when you read the comments, because one, you know, getting comments is the one fucking, you know, that's a celebration, right? So I get the, mind you, we don't know this nigga, and he really gives us an in-depth response to one of our takes, and I was just, where I really was hating, I was like, he actually fucking right. He a bitch.
Because we were talking about healthy narcissism. And he was healthy.
I thought it was called leadership.
Just being a leader.
He made me feel dumb. He made me feel dumb.
But I was like, you know what? I applaud him. I was like, you know what? This is why I do this shit.
I just feel like narcissism is just thrown around. So
yeah.
It has become trendy.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I'm a narcissist.
Anybody that like has any sort of like self-love or like, you know, think highly of themselves, automatically they're a narcissist. Yeah, some people can be imposing with their narcissism, of course.
I think when you're irrational with your confidence, that's when you get into the realm of arrogance and narcissism.
Yeah, because it turns into like entitlement. No, like everything's always about you.
Exactly.
You can consume the room with your issus and problems. That's
okay, see those parts. Yeah, I don't necessarily.
And I even mentioned that. So there is a DSM-V,
like an actual
manual psychology definition of what a narcissist is, but we're just using the term loosely.
It sounds cool for me, you know, but
I hate that word.
Are you cool?
Narcissism. Yeah, I get it. You know, from I use it usually in the terms of I do have a certain confidence for myself, but when it I could never like utilize it in a way to manipulate and, like you say, take over the room, because most of the time I don't talk to nobody, so I'm not your textbook narcissist.
Yeah,
I got elements of it, and we're going to try to coin our own philosophy right now.
I'm probably the most narcissist here.
No. Nah, I will say this. He mean it. My dog is a real deal narcissism. You know,
I'm selfishly selfless. So it's like, I even when I'm nice to people, it's for selfish reasons of I feel good being nice to people. But it works. It works in society.
At least you acknowledge it. That's the first step.
No, but it works in society, right? Because I feel like it's a win-win. Because if part of what makes me happy and I only care about myself is to make as many people happy around me, it's like at the end of the day you're getting the same result you're asking for.
True.
You know, you have somebody who makes everyone happy around them because they're bitches and they care what people think and they're trying to please.
They want to serve.
People. So I prefer my way than that way.
That's true. Me personally, Jess, you do get a bomb drop for that. That's right on time. I've learned in this phase, in this particular iteration of my life, I haven't got to the place where like I enjoy serving people, because I'm like selfish, but like I'm not like selfish to like serve, you know, because I want to reap the euphoria of like I did something for somebody. I'm definitely not in that place. I'm more so like in a place where like it is centered on me. Like I'm very centric to. I struggle with the conflicts of. I was talking to my brother this morning where I feel like I'm in a unique space where I'm operating from a space where I'm trying to say this in a way that it's all about me, but it's like all or nothing right now.
Self-interest.
Yeah, like self-interest. It's like I can't entertain nothing else. Like I just don't have the capacity, you know. And it's interesting because I watch a lot of people with balance, and I watch a lot of people who can entertain all these other, whether it's family, friends, your kids, your partner, and I look at it and I'm like, how do you do all of that and still be optimal in your goals? Or let's say, and I've never been good at I suffer from like tunnel vision. Like I see something and that's it. That's all I'm doing. And that's where I'm still in that phase now. Like I'm yeah, that's what's going on.
No, I consider myself to be pretty selfless. I've always been the type to, I was raised to be that way. Like, especially when I went to live in Dominican Republic, like everything my aunt lived by, like, oh, we're here to serve others. Like, we're always to be helpful for others. Like, give a giving hand. Being that they were like a super religious family, I guess that's not a bad thing, or whatnot. But like, I mean, I've done jobs where, like, I've been a CNA before. I used to take care of elderly people, and I really enjoyed that job. Like, it's not like, ew, these disgusting old people or whatnot. Not me. Like, I truly, from the bottom of my heart, enjoy doing things like that.
Even if they have paper skin?
Yeah, I've seen it all.
Oof.
And it didn't bother me.
You're a better person than I am. You know, paper
things
skin
like that, like, genuinely made
They
me
get bruised
happy.
out of nowhere.
Oh, it's like their skin just comes off.
Yeah, I've had
It's rough, yeah.
I don't want to speak on it
A
too
lot of
much.
respect.
It could be, like, delicate as far as, like, a patient confidentiality or whatnot, but it's a very, like, you have to be a giving person to
like,
do that type of
you're
job.
bathing an old lady and she shits herself in the
Yeah,
shower.
and then you gotta
she's
be
like,
kind about it.
Oh yeah. I know what you're talking about. Yeah. No, not for me.
See?
Yeah.
But it's okay. I mean, everybody has their thing. That's, I mean, as men, like, it's natural for you to be naturally tunnel vision. Like, and, like, I guess as a woman, it's just naturally for me to
naturally
be
nurturing. Yeah, that's your spirit.
It. And even being very giving or whatnot, I'm learning how to balance being more selfish, and that to me is very hard.
That's the superpower.
Yeah.
It was when I learned. I'll never forget. My grandmother told me, love you. She said the most powerful word you'll learn in the English language, Alex, is the word no.
Yeah.
And because I was a server, like I was somebody who wanted to service everybody. I was a pleaser, not servicer. Because I really didn't want to do it, but I would do it because I didn't want you to be mad at me. I didn't want you to think
did it
that
for a specific outcome.
Whatever it was, my family was able to. They knew who I was. They keeping it real. Alex ain't gonna say no. Just ask him. He'll do it. And then I became that guy, the fall guy. And then eventually, like, that's why it's such a weird dynamic in where I'm at in all my relationships. It's like, that nigga ain't coming. But that nigga ain't doing it. That nigga, I took so much of that in the beginning, and it's not my family's fault. It's not my friend's fault. It's myself. I didn't draw the boundaries, and I didn't draw the lines to say, hey, I'm just not available to do this. I'm not, like, I would tell people, I got in the bad habits of doing things like saying, I'm going to show up.
Yeah.
Damn well. And I try to blame it on being an introvert. And I think some of being an introvert, I do understand it to be in the spectrum in terms of social, how you are socially. Yeah. But there is accountability that I can't alleviate to being an introvert. Where it's just like, you can be an introvert and still be like responsible and be an adult and be like, I ain't coming, bro. Or I'm not going to do this. Or, so I'm saying, so, I forgot where I was going with it.
Well, no, you know what I was thinking about?
So basically, that what you were saying was that you do things. At the end of the day, it's for self-interest. And you're saying that you can't afford right now to, like, not be tunnel vision because you gave so much of yourself in the beginning of your relationships, I guess. Whatnot.
So, a story that I think about that shows my, balance between the two is I was partying with a friend in Brickell. We clubbed it all up, and drunk dining at the end of a night out. So we went to this Colombian hot dog restaurant, and a homeless guy walks in, and he's hungry. Oh, can I get some money? I said, listen, I don't give money to homeless, but I'll feed you. Order anything you want on the menu. He orders whatever he orders, and whatever. So the food comes that I paid, that he ordered. I paid for it. He's nowhere to be found. I leave my friend. I go outside. I look down the street. I'm like, where the fuck is this motherfucker going? So I just fucking pay this food. Like, if you ain't that hungry, if you're gonna leave, so I go back inside. Another homeless guy comes. I say, hey, it's your lucky day. Yes, I got this right here for you. Wow.
100%.
So I give him the food, and he walks out. Guess who shows up?
No.
The original homeless guy. I sent his ass to hell. I said, listen, your food is out there with him. Maybe he wants to share with you, maybe not, but fuck off. If you were hungry, you would have stayed. And so that's where I feel like there's a balance there. Because, like, maybe, who knows why he bounced? Who knows why he left? Who knows what he was doing? I don't know.
80, 90% of them niggas is
I reached... Yeah, I reached my. At the end of the day, I was like, all right, share with him. I'm not gonna be I'm not gonna be played for a fool. I don't know if you guys are working together, trying to whatever. I don't know shit. All I know is I tried to do my best. It didn't work out. Eat half or whatever, and then they shared or whatever, and I ignored them. So that's where I was like, I care about people, but at the same time, I'm ready to put my foot down at any moment.
It was a Atlas Shrugged that really pushed me into
the book with Ayn Rand. Mm-hmm. Oh man, you read it?
Well. Speed reading.
Oh, okay.
Ty Lopez style.
No, shout out to Ayn Rand. I read like 700 pages of Atlas Shrugged, but I made the mistake of watching the movies. And when you watch the movies, you know what's gonna fucking happen.
Yeah, right. That's right.
And I never picked it up again. But
so the reality is, charity is to me it encompasses good intentions, pave the road to hell. In its whole totality, like you could do something good. Like my aunt used to call me all the time, and she'd be like, every time she would call me, her kids might watch this, but y'all know your mama. She would call me, and she would have a different a new. If it wasn't cancer, it was another disease. She was dying every time. And I was just like, when is it going to happen? And it got to a point where I was just I had to cut it off because I realized I was like, oh shit.
But how did Atlas Shrugged bring you there? I am John Galt, by the way. But
well, ultimately, the premise of everything is this is where we kind of navigated to, where it's like you have to be self-serving to yourself. One, because let's put it like this. Let's be real. Could you help anybody if you can't help yourself?
That's what I always tell people with the airline. the analogy when the oxygen tanks fall in the airplane, you have to put the mask on yourself before you help others.
I felt like you said that before.
Yeah, because that's like the common analogy. Because, you have to, if you I've had this conversation with friends who are like blowing all their money trying to help their family. I said, listen, at a certain point, you have to recognize that they're holding you back, and you want to help
There's
yourself.
A cutoff.
You want to help yourself and to be in a position to truly help them instead of all of y'all being miserable. So, because right now, all you guys are being miserable. Mm-hmm. So instead of 5 miserable people, how about you stop being miserable, let the 4 continue being miserable, and you put yourself in a position where you literally get all 4 out of misery, and then the 5 of you are happy. But you got to be selfish first, so you can be selfless later.
And
I agree.
Sometimes, even when you get to the position of being able to serve, you still can't help them.
Yeah,
because
they gotta help themselves,
and that's the reality of it. Ain't nobody coming to save you.
Yeah, people gotta learn how to fend for themselves at the end of the day.
And that's what you spoke about, working from a young age, which I thought which explains a lot, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. We got that in common.
When you talk about not partying and not clubbing, I mean, you even spoke about if you let me know where certain parts of your life socially obviously was impacted based on your circumstances, being independent, having to do what you have to do, be responsible. Damn, I keep building up to keep falling off. It's just fucking crazy. But I think that you can
Yeah, so at a young age I started working a lot, so therefore I wasn't able to
experience.
Yeah, a lot of things.
Right.
So I don't know. I've been always super focused or whatnot. Not sure where you were trying to.
You know,
go
we
with that.
had a conversation before where there was one night where I don't know, were we sober? There was one night where I just laid out my whole fucking. You don't remember that night, or I laid out my whole history of working.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah. I remember that.
But
sure.
to me, I'm so grateful for that time. Like I feel like I learned so many lessons that made me a better person. So did you walk away from that experience in a positive light or a negative light?
In a positive light, because it's made me who I am so far. I consider myself to be an independent person.
Yeah.
I've learned to pretty much take care of myself, fend for myself, be productive by myself, function in society by myself. I mean, you have to, but I don't know. I guess at a young age, people don't do any of those things. So people don't really care about, I have to be responsible, my job. These are just things that are not taken serious, in your early 20s or whatnot. But for me, always, it always was.
Yeah, I know people who they've never heard of a 2-week notice. It's damn.
What?
They'd be like, I just quit my job. And you'd be like, you gave him a 2-week notice?
I probably shouldn't say this, but I changed jobs. It's nothing.
So if we took a look, if we was to print out your resume right now, and you probably have consistent work history, but it would be a lot of
within the same fields, different places. As soon as I feel like a job becomes too toxic.
What was your longest occupation?
I've done pretty much the same thing.
For the most part. One business, how long have you stayed at a business? The longest, matter of fact.
The longest I would say is, I want to say from 1.5 to 2 years is the longest I've spent at a job. And I usually travel a lot, around too, so I constantly move around.
Yeah.
I've been to New York, I've been to Texas, I at one point went to Atlanta. Every time I move, I get a new job. So when I come back to Florida, I start working.
And you said same field, different job? Or you
said different company.
Okay, but the same field. The same. Okay.
Same job, different. It's competitive out here. You could pretty much get whatever you want.
Are you willing to say what that field is, or is that too?
Not yet,
oh, okay.
Not yet. I still need the job.
That's Patreon. That's in there.
Oh, but can you say if it's nursing or STEM or
hospitality?
Yeah, hospitality.
Okay.
Okay. What's the longest job you've kept?
My current one is the longest.
How long you been there?
3 years now or 4?
That's it. Damn.
But before that was a year now. Because so I started when I was 12, and it was just a bunch of random jobs under the table, and then this is my first. This job and the job before were the first 2 jobs that were real,
right
that I actually had for extended period of time and wasn't under the table. Used my social.
Damn. Okay. All right.
Fuck you, IRS. Come after me.
No.
No.
Prove it.
So
let me stop. They got their 87,000 extra.
Yeah, I'm scared of them niggas. Yeah, I don't play with them niggas.
I'm just kidding. I started working when I was 18 years old.
Is there statute of limitations on any other stuff? I don't know. That's tax law.
He's lying, by the way.
I don't know.
That's right.
But if I ever get into politics,
wait.
Bite me in the ass.
We have a disclaimer that goes before the shows.
You ain't lying.
So
I'm just a comedian. I'm making this up.
All for fun, bitches. Okay, so 5-year plan. 5-year plan.
From now in 5 years?
What in what aspect? Work wise?
Well, not just work, just life. It used to be for me, professionally, right? Everything was professional. I remember people talking about, I'm gonna get married, I'm gonna have kids, I'm gonna do. None of those was ever part of my conversation. It was always I'm gonna get Grammy. I'm gonna have multiple businesses. I've never actually introduced those dynamics into my future. Where now that I'm not a spring chicken,
I see some grays. Bam.
Can you not? And I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm gonna keep it real. I am gonna start.
Coloring?
Start Beijing. I don't give.
Are you serious? I am so against that.
You don't think so? You know what? I saw Diddy and his hair was so black that he died over he been doing that. But it's
like wearing makeup.
Salt and pepper hair is cute and all, but I don't mind men that.
Just a little bit.
It helps.
You know, like, come on. I'm too young to have this new gray hair.
I'm addicted to reality.
Women wear makeup, so why can't you dye your beard?
Because I'm not a woman.
That's a good one. You know how to make something misogynistic. I think if you want, as a man, if you decide you want to dye your hair, what's wrong with it?
It's 2023. Dye your hair.
Don't dye your hair. Don't put that much effort into something that doesn't matter.
To who?
I don't think society cares what we look like as men.
Well, I know what women care. We care.
I don't think so.
So if you see
my girl sees me as a god no matter what I fucking do. If you're doing your job as a man,
that's because you're in a relationship.
That's what I'm saying.
If you were single.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh shit!
Yeah, so if you're saying you want to hatfish people, you want to like
hatfish what?
You never heard the term hatfish?
Because he bald?
No, yeah. Hatfish is when like a dude wears a lot of hats
this nigga knows
to like hide his balding because he wants to hide his age as balding. Yeah. So he hatfishes the girl.
I got a head full of hair
for now.
I'm scared too.
If you're worried about Beijing and shit, you're gonna worry about balding.
The other day I was like, damn, why I got all these damn gray hairs?
Listen, I told my girl, I said, when I go bald, I'm going bald. I'm not doing the comb thing. I'm not doing the
No.
I look how I look.
I'm going full fledged Neo, baby.
It's the worst.
Milk dud head.
Women, so I don't think women care about men's look the same way men care about women's look. I just don't think it's the same. I don't think it's equal.
It's not equal, but women at the end of the day have preferences as well. I feel like men really strongly want to believe that women just don't care about men or like how they look or things like that.
That's a fair point.
That's all they care about is their money, and it's not true. We have to be attracted to you to even want to be around you.
Yeah, but I don't agree that a man who does artificial things is attractive. I think a man who does the best with what he has, I think that's more attractive than a guy doing weird artificial shit. Well, in my opinion,
let's say you get a manicure.
That's different. That's like standard upkeep. I'm talking about weird. I'm talking about transplants. You got a scar here because you're transplanting hair here. You got.
But that's what I mean. Like, what he wants to do is so superficial. It's not like he's trying to like have hair transplant.
I'm just saying.
He just wants to like make his own hair darker again.
I don't want my boy going on a date. And it starts raining. And he has black ink coming down his face and shit. It's getting on her white dress. Like, I don't think that's a good look.
Or you could just keep the grays audio.
That's what I'm saying.
Keep the grays. Salt and pepper daddy.
On the wisdom.
So, you know what? I ain't never heard it that way, you know.
No, listen, I've seen some older men that have gray hair. I mean,
thank you.
They look amazing.
Thank you. Daddy. You don't want to be sweating black ink on your face and shit.
I probably wouldn't do the Beijing. I'll probably do like the little shit, you know.
Don't do anything. Own what you got. Own your reality.
How about don't impose? Like let him want to dye his hair.
I guess
you're not gonna be his friend no more.
No, I'm just gonna. Okay,
he's gonna make jokes.
But I'm gonna make jokes. And that's that social pressure, right? Where
You only say that because you got a chin full of no.
No, I got a gray hair the other day. I'm losing. I got the corners are going away.
I ain't gonna lie. I've been.
The corners are going away. I'm getting old.
Keeps. I ain't like until y'all niggas sponsor us. You will not get any promotion here. But my brother's been using it.
For real? It works? I don't know. I don't confuse.
I don't know. But if the technology exists to keep your hair, why not?
I mean, the technology has to be super tried and true. The amount of fucking money I have needs to be really up there. Like, everything has to make sense. But I'm not going to make a sacrifice to look younger than I really am.
What's the sacrifice? Define sacrifice.
Time, energy, and finances. So those three resources. So if it costs time, money, and energy to fake my age through hair stuff, beard stuff. I am against that. I think my research could be for men. I think my research
so women should do that to make themselves look younger.
Yes.
Or should they just look their age?
Depends what decisions they made at the time.
But peacocking is an important process of mating.
That's what I'm saying. So if you're a 45-year-old woman and you still don't have a partner, then it's different advice than if you're 45 and you already have your husband locked in. It's a different conversation depending on where the woman is in her life.
Oh yeah, like if my
but women should care more about their looks than men do.
That's true. In the marketplace,
I hate that men have that mentality.
Why? What do you mean?
Well, women should.
The show.
I just.
It matters to women more how they look, maybe. But you imagine laying down like next to some old dusty, unfit,
saggy
can't
balls.
even breathe.
Yeah.
Oh, because he got money. Can't even breathe.
So I you know what Equalizer in music.
I know the movie. I like it.
No. You know what an equalizer is in music.
Nigga, I know that.
So you know equalizer. You have like this
treble,
this,
high,
right here. You got levels, whatever. So my philosophy with men, anyways, is, and what I try to live by is like, you got all these different factors in life that you could be from a 0 to a 10 at, right? Money, intelligence, philosophy, whatever, and abilities in bed, abilities dancing, abilities cooking. You have all these different things that you can be good or bad at, and you want to have as many things as high as possible.
For sure, it's like building your character.
Yeah,
video.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think girls care about a lot more different factors in men that they have to get. Attributes.
Yeah, attributes.
Whereas for girls, it's a lot like from my experience talking to men, being a man, we're a lot more simple with what we ask for in a girl.
Just get money.
What do you mean? No, what we ask for in a girl.
Oh, in a girl? Oh, look good.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? Like, we're very simple and very So because we're simple, we have less things on our equalizer, so they matter more for the women to have higher up. Whereas a man has so many different things that girls are looking for, we just got to get all of them to a decent range. They don't all have to be that high. So that's why the weight on looks and weighs more on women than men. I'm not saying that there's zero weight on looks on men at all. What is it?
No, I agree with you.
So yes, you do have to care to a certain extent your looks as a man. It just doesn't have the same weight on the scale because women have so many other things they're looking for.
Yeah, I agree. But that makes sense. That makes sense. Might not be fair, but it's the reality of the marketplace. Yeah, it's the reality of the marketplace is if a woman, and you would be like what I would call like an outlier or something like that, right? So women would sacrifice visually, physical appearance, if those other attributes, like security, stability, finance, and
charisma. How many fat guys do you see?
I love seeing the fat nigga
confidence. That's my favorite.
Because when I see a fat nigga with like a cute girl, I'd be like, I didn't try hard enough. You know what I'm saying?
But 9 out of 10 times they're hilarious. They're fun to be around. They have street smart.
I love fat guys. I think fat guys
with confidence. Fat guys with confidence.
Fat guys with confidence and gay guys are the funniest niggas I tend to run into.
But just to clarify, I don't think men should not care about their looks at all.
No, you can't be no sloppy dusty.
Yeah,
it's like when you see like a fat nigga like Drewski. You remember Drewski?
Yeah.
Who's that?
He got swag. Drewski is like a
Instagram personality.
He's an Instagram personality, but he's heavy set, but he dresses right. I think that the fat boy, long as he put his pieces together, he could be valuable in the space. But a girl can also do the same thing, be like, I'm chubby or fat, but it don't really matter if you have the designer. It doesn't really matter if you. I don't understand what you're trying to do right here. Is this like a cancelable moment? No. I'm just okay. So men are a little more rudimentary in their choices in terms of a spouse, whereas women have because they have a larger spectrum of categories.
There's less weight on any one factor. Mm-hmm. You have more factors you got to worry about, but there's less weight on them. Whereas women have less factors that they have that men care about. In general, from my experience,
men all have different preferences. Yeah. Because we're not gonna be on here and be like, men don't like chubby girls or overweight girls. I know guys that specifically like girls to be more heavy set.
Exactly.
100%.
And like skinny. So I mean, there's always 100%. Somebody.
There's preference,
but you line up 100 guys.
Yeah, they're gonna want.
And there's a certain place in that spectrum where it's going to be very rare that a guy finds that girl attractive.
Yeah, true.
You know what I'm saying? There's a certain bigness where the average guy is going to be like,
there's a cutoff.
That's too big. Exactly. That's
there's a cutoff. There's a cutoff. What's your cutoff?
What do you mean? I'm a proportion guy. So I've always said this my whole life. I've met guys that are an ass guy or a tit guy or this guy. I am genuinely a proportion guy. I like how it all looks together. Okay. So if the ratio matches the okay, so what I'm saying is so like
you're saying something.
So like if I appreciate the beauty of how it all comes together, how the eyes match the nose.
So you don't like you wouldn't really like fake bodies because sometimes the fake bodies look unproportioned. You know, like when we just like you got the legs, but they don't really match up with the.
So we've had this conversation before on the pod where I am definitely anti plastic surgery. However, with the caveat that if it's done well enough and it looks real enough that I can't even tell, then I'll probably like it.
It needs to look natural.
That's what I'm saying. So I'm really big on natural because I'm really big on just how it all looks together. So if you're a certain height, you could have a certain waist that has a certain everything. I'm big on how it all looks in one package. I cannot say I have a preference to this versus that. It just has to all look good together.
Right. So it has to look natural. Meaning if you do anything.
Yeah, as far as like plastic surgery goes, it's very rare that I seen plastic surgery that. Well, again, if I could tell it's plastic surgery, I already don't like it. Yeah, that's the whole point. But in general, my preference is just the overall.
Let me give you a scenario:
proportional beauty of the feminine.
The woman you love decides, say, "Hey, babe, I want to go and get a breast enhancement, whatever." You telling her, okay, babe, whatever you want to do?
No.
You telling her no?
I'm saying, I'm going to say, I'm going to say that as far as being with me, it's a no. I mean, you're a free human being.
You can do what you want. I don't own you. But that's you being there. I see what you did there. I see what you did there.
Are you going to continue being viewed in my eyes as like my partner in life? No.
Damn. I'm with you though. I agree the same way.
Now,
well, no, I would say
now. Like she has some medical situation where she has to get a double mastectomy.
Like cut her titties off.
Now, exactly. Now, I mean, see, like, okay, now that's a different conversation.
That's different.
But, however, I want to say in the final product,
like how much they shave off.
No, how much they put back.
Oh. Do they put it back,
or how it looks? What are the different?
No,
okay. So when you get a double mastectomy, you're pretty much gonna be gone, nothing. Yeah. So then,
then
you're gonna look like a dude.
Yeah, no,
then you get implants.
Well, yeah,
because they remove all the breast tissue, so you're gonna get implants, right? So So then at that point, that's a very extenuating circumstance where plastic surgery makes sense because I don't want you to look like. I don't want more than you. Like, that's really weird. You know what I'm saying? So at that point, in that extreme circumstance, then okay, fine. That makes sense to get a breast implants, but I'm going to have a say in who's doing it, how it looks.
Okay, that's fair.
Why do you feel like you need to have a say? That strongly of a say?
This is where the show starts again. It's like starting
How am I gonna? How? Why do I feel so strong? I guess
I feel like that should only be valid unless like you're in the process of marrying her. So
Well, yeah,
what are
that's
the
what-
odds that you have such a say and then you just 2 years later
yes.
don't end up together?
Well,
and
then,
what did it matter what you cared about?
So yeah, so I agree with you then. So I am speaking about my
Potential wife.
Exactly. I'm speaking about my wife. I'm not
So if
speaking about
she's
some
a
random
girlfriend
chick.
that you're just talking to and she's like,
I don't
you
do
guys
that,
are
though.
two.
I don't know that.
You don't do girlfriends?
I don't. I'm either nothing or you're my wife. I don't know what the in
So
between
you're going to
is.
get married with your current girlfriend?
We are married.
Oh, okay.
Common law marriage.
Oh.
There's no paper, but that's my wife. Like, I as far as like the paper could come, it could be signed, but I don't feel any different. I don't act any different. I'm either single or you're my wife. I don't know. I don't care what you or the society or the government or the churches say. You're either my wife or we're nothing. I don't understand or know any in between. And shit, all my relationships are super long lasting.
That's fair.
So my mentality has worked for me so far, but
for you.
but yeah, I never understood that whole like you can ask my girl, you meet her, you can ask her like
No, I agree. I think that's like a Dominican.
has Manny been any different in like any stage of your relationship? She gonna be like, nah, he's been me I know exactly what I got when I got it.
I believe being a girlfriend is a scam. So I don't blame you.
Yeah, so
because you're like, if you're not planning to like, what do you want from me?
No, agreed. Agreed. I think attention is super important, and then when you dating, that's why the concept of dating.
No, I was gonna say that I had trouble understanding you because my brain couldn't even comprehend. I had to watch the podcast back to understand when you were talking about dating with intent. I didn't understand what that because my brain couldn't even comprehend a difference. That's what I'm saying. So that was so automatic that I didn't even understand that was even
because you didn't know
to consider. Like, I didn't know there was an opposite.
There's guys that there's a sect of people that just it's almost like
I was embarrassed for myself. Like, oh, I get it now.
It's like entertainment to them. They just date. I don't know if they're fishing for the intent of a monogamous, long-term, thing. Like I don't know, but it seems it's so simple to me. Like practically wise, like it's just like ain't that what everybody supposed to be doing?
Yeah,
but it's not true.
So because to answer the question, at the end of the day, I don't share my women sexually. So when it comes to the physical appearance of my girl, it's for me and no one else. So I don't. So there is a sense of ownership there that exists if she's going to be mine. Now, if she doesn't want to be or isn't, then that's a different conversation. But that's why I care so strongly.
Okay, that's reasonable.
Fair. So if a woman wants to be with you, they might need to sign off on certain things.
What do you mean?
They gotta be okay with your requirements.
Oh, 100%. But I would argue that's for everyone.
Yeah,
right?
Everybody has their own requirements.
Yeah. Like I think that's the whole point, right? Everyone communicates their boundaries, their requirements.
The issue is that people get in relationships, don't even know what they want, who they are, like what are they looking for in a person. They're just like randomly like bonding with random strangers, to have sexual.
It usually starts with right.
And you guys enjoy each other's company and then just be around each other, and then when you guys don't want to be around each other, well, we're not together anymore, call it a day after. You just, you know what I'm saying? That's a waste of your time.
That's like 98%.
I don't know, I haven't dated in the past like
relationships
7 years, so I don't know.
I tell everyone my superpower is communication.
This girl is like a plethora of content. You haven't dated in 7 years?
Not official, like I haven't been in a relationship.
So you talk.
It doesn't get past the talking stage. Because
his brain. I watched it happen. Like the fedora came off and the brain like with the pink.
No, so I know in terms of bases, right? Like first base, second base, third base, home base. So you're talking about nothing past first base in 7 years.
No comment.
That's a good one.
All right.
I plead the fifth.
But
nothing serious.
But that has nothing. Yeah, it was never nothing that was gonna get past the talking stage. Like there was no commitment, no, let's build together.
Yeah.
Or even like a mention of it. So also I never really prioritized the relationship. I was more so working on myself, getting to learn myself, know myself. And the thing is that I guess I did that at a young age. People my age usually don't do these type of things. I think that's what happened there. So I guess after the first relationship that went really wrong, which is the relationship I had my son in, I just never dated after. Like never took anybody serious, I guess. And also too, like when you're a single mom and you have a young kid, like I'm totally against like bringing people around your children, like 100%. Especially if you're not. And that's another thing, like just that in itself. If you don't have any initiative to want to even like meet my child, like if I can't trust you, you know, there's things that need to happen in order for you to be in a relationship. It just 100%. Never happened or came across me. And then you know the dating scene here in Miami.
I don't know.
Everybody been
yeah.
But that's the thing. It's a big what the fuck.
So I've been in my relationship going on 7 years now, and we had this conversation before. I don't think on camera, but it's like that understanding. Like, okay, if there's so many different reasons why I could end up single tomorrow.
Yeah.
Whether it's a train wreck or whatever, it could be anything. And it's like, damn, like I don't know what would it be. I haven't dated in 7 years, so it's like, I would have to get into the date. Oh, that's what it was. We did have this conversation on the camera because I was curious because when audio hasn't really fully embraced the dating scene yet. But I'm very curious to live vicariously through audio for when he gets his dating.
A lot of my male friends are sitting there was like,
I'm very curious.
and I'd be like,
I went on Tinder for audio just out of curiosity. Like I remember I went on Tinder when I was in Dominican Republic. I was like, okay, what would audio see if he came here and went on? I was so curious because like who knows how everything has changed from.
It's very different. It's very.
I hate it. Nobody cares. Like nobody cares to have like long-term relationships. Yeah. Everybody wants to do what's cool, which is like. Now, the thing is like polygamy, and everybody wants to be with everybody, I think and then it's so lame to be with one person.
The biggest problem is probably that I saw rampant was, people will start the cycle, and 99% of the time, in 2-3 days to a week, it dissipates. Because people are not. They don't have the weight. They don't have the motivation to like see things out. I'm victim of it. Like I be real. Like I'm not entertained that way. And I think it's technology is because it's like I'm talking to you through social media. I'm trying to figure out if this is real version of yourself or you're just saying everything fucking nice. A lot of times when you think about people who got into relationships, from our era, it wasn't so much social media with myself being the exception in some of my past experiences. Most people, you started dating the person that was a job. You started dating the person that was a friend of a friend.
Law of proximity.
Yeah, right, exactly. So in the space when it comes to social or online dating, it's so hard to really build a genuine connection. That's why, like, one of the things that I'm working on, because I'm working on like kind of helping people like navigate online dating, is like as soon as you get to a place where you feel like, let's say from the visuals place, you're like, oh, I like this girl, and you see a couple of little points or guy or girl, whatever, get on the phone as soon as possible. So you just dead it or find out, oh, you know what, I like this person. From the point of just the sonics of hearing somebody's voice and be like, it's those nuances, like kind of like this person's voice. Like you don't get that experience in the online dating. Using online dating, so it's weird. It's weird as fuck. I ain't gonna lie.
Online dating, it just shows you that you have so many options, and then I guess when you feel like you have a lot of options, why would you like choose? You know what I mean?
You been on any dating apps?
No, none. I think I signed up for them, but I've never.
I've been on all of them.
Oh, I think I signed up to. So this was a time in my life where I tried to like attempt dating. I'm like, I couldn't meet people in person. I'm always working. Yeah. So I'm like, let me try the sites. Well, it was strongly recommended by a coworker of mine. I signed up. I tried it.
Which one?
I don't even know. If you say it, I'll probably.
Hinge, Bumble, Tinder. There's some shit called Ashley Madison.
Christian Mingle.
No.
Coffee Meat Bagel.
No.
Plenty of Fish.
Farmers.
I want to say maybe it was Tinder.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah. Tinder is the wild, wild fucking west.
You went on Grindr before, right?
And I had like a DJ hit me up on Tinder.
You can live your life. It ain't for me. You said what about Tinder?
The first person to hit me up on the app was like some it was a love and hip hop DJ, and I'm like, oh no, wow. I can't do this. I'm like, why?
Oh shit! Wait, which love and hip hop?
No, I'm not gonna say.
No, I'm just saying.
I think it was New York. The person from the hip hop New York.
Did you go on any dates stemming from any?
No.
You never went on any.
Me, first impression is everything. If I don't feel your vibe off rip, I already know like it's not gonna work.
I find myself being in a constant cycle of just like I don't even know. Like I don't know. Like a bitch might need to have to do a cartwheel or something. I don't know. I'm for real. Like it has to be like extraordinary because I would just be like, all right, whatever.
You just gotta find a woman that fits your life. Like it's just a matter of you as a man knowing what you want. It as a man, I just feel like it starts with you and it ends with you. So I feel like
because you know what I hear or what I've been told was you will find the girl that'll make you stop doing the things that you do, and I'll be like,
yeah,
nah.
Because I feel like that girl would naturally mesh with you. Like, she'll fit.
Yeah. But she won't stop you.
No, exactly.
Yeah, she won't stop you from doing the things you do.
You're going to find the girl that respects you because you do the things that you do.
Right, exactly. So when you hear, one day that girl's going to make you do it different. And I'll be like,
you don't believe that?
No, because I don't think that I'm doing anything wrong. And that's where...
It could just be your perception. Like, do you actually really know what you want? Like, do you see it? Like, if you saw it, would you recognize it? Like, oh man, this is what I need in my life.
I used to think that. I used to be like
confused.
No, I'm not privy.
I like this.
You see where this is going?
I like this.
See, I told you. Did we need topics? No. So
don't stutter. That's my job.
Take it easy, buddy. We're gonna pause.
Why?
No, because I'm gonna switch the card. The memory card.
Man, this is hope if I ever heard it. This is such bull.